So, Us Weekly reports Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are getting closer to finalizing their 7-year-long divorce. Seven years
They're
it's
still
dragged
not
out.
divorced?
The problem was, Kathy, there are vineyards and financial holdings.
Yeah. I guess when you own vineyards, there might be a little
It's not like
complication.
who gets the toaster of it.
Yeah.
A source told the
Who
outlet
gets the vineyard?
they're navigating the last of the red tape, which is a huge relief and a morale boost. Speaking about the actor, the source added it saddens him that he's not on better terms with some of his kids, and he regrets things that got so acrimonious with Angelina, but the days of looking back in anger are behind
I think this transcends not on good terms.
Yeah.
Yep. According to Us Weekly, Jodie Turner-Smith shared photos of her living room decorated with pink, purple, and silver balloons to Instagram on Wednesday. And she wrote, "The best Valentine's yet. Thank you so much. You know who you are about last night." And this comes after the Queen and Slim actor filed for divorce from her husband of 4 years, Joshua Jackson, in October of last year. The Dawson's Creek actor has been romantically linked with Lupita Nyong'o.
You know, they both got with people who are very similar to the people they broke up with.
Yeah, Jodie Turner-Smith looks a lot like Lupita Nyong'o.
And vice versa.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's like, what?
Swapping out for a better model.
Yeah.
So, Cillian Murphy, the actor, is not big on taking photos with fans. When one approached him for a picture during a recent interview with GQ, the Oppenheimer actor said, "I don't do photos." I explained to the publication, "I just think it's better to say hello and have a little conversation." I tell that to a lot of people, actor friends of mine, and they're just like, "I feel so bad." But you don't need a photo record of everywhere you've been in a day, he says. Yeah, but if you're winning someone who's...
Yeah.
If you're meeting someone like that, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
If you're meeting someone like you, it's a big deal.
He is very shy, and I get that. I get that whole dynamic. You'd want to respect that. If you could... there's so many people who do it right, who handle the paparazzi or handle fans. Superstars.
Sure.
I get it. But to me, it's like, you can't just take a picture?
Harry Connick Jr. turned me down one time.
Did he?
Yeah, I did an interview with him.
Son of a bitch.
Done, and I said, hey, can I get a picture with you? He's like, "Oh, man, I don't do pictures."
I didn't want one anyway, you troll.
Yeah. I was being nice to you.
Yeah.
Thought
Loser.
maybe want a photo, but no, he said no.
Yeah, same.
I thought you were Harry Styles.
Howard Hessman did that to me.
Howard Hessman.
You son of a bitch.
Where is he now?
Dead.
He's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the best comeback for that? Like,
You're ugly.
Well, you just walk away.
You ball tap him.
Yeah.
Tail between your legs.
Yeah, what's this on your nuts and then kick him?
I don't know what a good retort to that would be, Case.
How about, oh, come on?
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I think we all agree
you made
that
a good
works.
case.
Come on.
Now that you say it that way.
All right. Speaking of divorces and acrimonious ones, Kevin Costner and Christine Baumgartner's marriage is officially over.
Kathy, Kevin Costner, doable, attractive.
I
Okay.
love him. Are you
All right.
kidding? Yes.
Nothing is over. The new documents obtained by
divorce lawyer.
The new documents obtained by ET. In new documents obtained by ET.
I just received them yesterday.
Costner, and what is he?
I think everything looks good on paper, but of course you got to consider the children.
You're the mediator in this whole thing?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
ET and ET. It's a new law firm.
So they signed a marital settlement agreement, which puts an end to their months-long divorce saga.
I think she's the reason why Yellowstone's not happening. I think he was so wrapped up in this, she ruined it. I blame her.
In addition to having their marriage dissolved, the pair is excused from completing the Parent Education and Co-Parenting Effectively class.
The hell is that?
According to documents, the agreement resolves the custody issues between Costner and Baumgartner, who share 3 teenage children, Caden, Hayes, and Grace.
So I remember the story progressing that he had designs on someone outside the relationship. She found out about it. and got upset. But then later, we learned that may not have been the case, and she had designs outside the relationship.
Didn't we see him with a jewel not that long ago?
Yes. So
That's
they,
right.
they both moved on.
You're right on that, Nick.
Thank you,
But
E.T.
that wasn't during the whole thing. This is post divorce. So the documents also state that both Costner and Baumgartner agreed that the court could compel them to complete the classes should custody issues arise in the future. Costner and Baumgartner's latest divorce update comes 5 months after they settled their divorce. So what's the difference between settling and finalizing?
I can get very elaborate if you want an explanation, but you get bored. I would advise any couple that's going through something like this is try to find each other's heart lights and turn them on.
Yes, please do. If we've learned anything from E.T., it's that. But does anybody know the difference between settling and finalizing?
I have it for you.
It's probably like schedule and schedule.
Yeah, it's a lot like the boot to bonnet.
Boot to bonnet.
Okay, if the parties agree on the resolution of the issues in the marital separation agreement, this document is filed with the court. A divorce settlement agreement becomes part of the divorce decree and governs the party. This doesn't answer it.
Got it. Yeah, got it now.
Divorce
Fully
decree.
understand.
I totally understand.
The Yellowstone star and Baumgartner have been locked in a contentious divorce since they later filed for divorce on May 1st after 18 years of marriage. They have both reportedly moved on. He has been linked to singer Jewel, as you said, Nick, and Baumgartner is reportedly dating their former neighbor, financier Josh Connor.
What if it's just like a regular guy? Yeah. I would think that would be the most life-sucking thing to go through a protracted divorce over multiple years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It drags on and on and on.
Try
That
to
thing
avoid
that's
that at all.
always
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
All right, real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so
Dumb it down, please.
I'm going to try because I'm not sure I quite understand it either. But the settlement, it basically just means they've come to an agreement. It still has to be finalized
They've been come
in the
to
court.
known as.
Yeah, they've been coming
They
to
filed a writ of been come to known as.
All right, they agree, but they haven't.
They are not
signed
divorced
off on it
yet. Right, exactly.
This is a pretty wild story. Bryan Cranston is opening up about the crazy brushes with murder he's experienced in his lifetime. Yeah. On Tuesday's episode of Jesse Tyler Ferguson's Dinners on Me podcast, the Breaking Bad alum delved into the chaos of his early 20s and shared a few anecdotes that directly involved murder. So he recalled traveling the country with his brother Kyle sometime in the mid-70s, and they stopped in Florida, low on funds. They hung out for a while in FLA in order to accrue funds, and they got jobs as waiters in a restaurant. It was called the Hawaiian Inn. And he prefaced the story by explaining that the restaurant was helmed by a very cantankerous chef named Peter Wong, who just hated everyone. He noted how Wong was just awful to the staff. The staff would often have meetings where they would joke about the ways that they would plot to get rid of him. He said, we all discuss how rotten and mean Peter Wong is. And we also discussed if one of us were to do away with him, how would one do it? And he shared how some jokingly suggested the use of a meat grinder or hitting him over the head with his own wok. We would laugh. He said, you're in a kitchen. I mean, there's a million ways to kill someone in a kitchen. So soon it was time for them to move on. And they headed up north with plans to go all the way up to Maine on their motorcycles. He said, well, little did we know that right at the time we said goodbye and left the job, Peter Wong went missing.
Whoa. Wow.
He was not found for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. He said the actor revealed that the chef had always carried a wad of cash on his person, and it was for him to go to the dog track. And he said one day a young lady in a honey trap, I don't know what that means, approached him and led him back to a house or something when someone knocked him over the head and robbed him. They later put his body in the trunk of a car. Homicide investigators and came into the restaurant to question those who worked with him. When asked if anyone had mentioned doing Wong harm, fingers were pointed at the Cranston brothers, who had coincidentally left town at the time of the murder, because they had all talked about, jokingly, how they would kill him, and then these guys leave town and he's gone. So the cops are
crazy.
Like, they're suspects.
A honey trap is a classic. You get an attractive woman.
There you go.
There you go. And so it's referred to as a honey trap.
Little did we know, he said, they put out an APB on us to find us. We were somewhere in the Carolinas, I think, at that point.
You'd be going out of your mind if you thought they think we killed this guy.
Yeah. Well, you had no idea.
Yeah.
Fortunately, before police tracked them down, investigators put the pieces together and they arrested the actual culprits who had murdered Wong after interviewing witnesses and gathering surveillance tapes. But for a split second,
I'm sure
they were
reflecting on it,
suspects.
though, they realized that 2 ways to kill Wong don't make it right.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. This was cool to see. The desert planet Arrakis came to London's Leicester Square on Thursday as the star-studded Dune Part 2 had their premiere, and it features, of course, Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. They rolled into town for the movie's world premiere. Denis Villeneuve takes the audiences back to Arrakis for his follow-up to 2021's Dune, where Chalamet's Paul Atreides joining forces with Zendaya's Chani and the Fremen. So Villeneuve said that the first movie was a bit of homework for the audience, that they had to learn about this world. There was a lot of backstory. That's done. And now the second one was more cinematic fun for me. He said it's much more difficult, but much more fun to do.
I didn't in any way feel underserved by that first movie. I thought the setup had a ton of weight to it. I get it. I get why they split it. It makes sense. It's a lot of material. I thought it was fantastic.
Here's what I thought was going to happen, though. I thought the cliffhanger ending was going to piss people off.
Right.
And they weren't going to get to the second movie. But fortunately,
it all worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
Did you see Zendaya's outfit for this premiere? She looks like a robot.
She's wearing a very Metropolis type of... not Metropolis, Steve. What was the...
you're right. Ultima Future Robert.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
She's wearing an outfit like that. So... Dune Part 2 sees Rebecca Ferguson return as Paul's mother, Jessica, and Javier Bardem as Fremen leader Stilgar, and also features new additions Elvis star Austin Butler as the villainous Fade Routha, and Oppenheimer actress Florence Pugh as Princess Aurelian. So it begins, I think it opens in the U.S. on March 1st, but here's an interesting little tidbit that they learned from the premiere. Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be a part of the cast, and they have kept her role completely secret as of now. She will be in it briefly, and no one knows who she is going to be. And I've been racking my brain to try to think of a character
could she be?
that appears shortly that would be a full adult. And
is she Tango or Cash?
So Taylor-Joy played Coy, saying you'll have to see the film to understand why she was at the premiere. She was shrouded in a white Dior haute couture cape over a matching pleated gown with a plunging neckline.
That's exactly what I would wear.
She said, having seen it, this is probably one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life. This is a dream come true. The books are incredible, but with this cast and with Dennis, it doesn't get any better than that.
So many of the choices made in that movie by the director are so brilliant and so cool. And I love special effects. I love them done right. I would say that these are so photorealistic that you're like, the ships. Is that real? They look so good.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's coming soon. Very much looking forward to it. All right, I thought about putting this in music news, but I may move it to music news as well, but I had to put this here. Paul McCartney has been reunited with the original Hofner bass guitar that he bought in the early 1960s. It was stolen in the 1970s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a brief statement on Paul's website said, following the launch of last year's Lost Bass project, Paul's 1961 Hofner 501 bass guitar, which was stolen in 1972, has been returned. The guitar has been authenticated, I'll get it, by Hofner, and Paul is incredibly grateful to all those involved. So he bought the guitar in Hamburg, Germany in 1961. It was his primary instrument throughout the years of the Beatles' runs in Hamburg's Top 10 Club and Liverpool's Cavern Club, and then the first few albums as well. But it went missing years later, and in 2023, 3 lifelong Beatles fans set out to get it back. Nick Waz, a former marketing manager and electric guitar developer for Hofner, and husband and wife team Scott and Naomi Jones, both journalists, created the Lost Bass Project, and they went out and they find leads, and they've tracked it down.
The odds are astonishingly against this, and the fact, and they've got it. They know this is the one.
Yeah, do you know
amazing?
You know how mad Paul was when he found out that bass was missing?
I want to kill.
He was so
Who
distraught.
took this? This isn't it.
The team discovered in October that the bass had been stolen off a truck in London's Notting Hill neighborhood.
Notting Hill?
Yes. But that was such a delightful movie.
No!
It was in 1972. And
it was a movie for pussies.
Ian Horn, one of McCartney's former sound engineers, got in touch with the Lost Bass Project, told them about the 1972 theft. And according to Horn, the bass was taken from the back of a padlock.
It's all about the bass!
A padlock truck that had been rented to help move some equipment as Paul and his band Wings prepared for an upcoming tour.
Yeah, devastating.
The Lost Base Project said that it was then able to figure out exactly who stole it and learned it was sold to the owner of a pub in the area. And while the project has never
take it off the back of the truck and burn it.
While the project has never revealed any specifics, having promised anyone who comes forward confidentiality, it said it was able to track the base's movements over the years. And as a result of the publicity, someone living in a terraced house on the south coast of England remembered an old bass guitar that was in the attic.
It's amazing.
And they realized what they had, and within days, it was back in Paul's hands. Isn't that crazy?
Again, that's stuff of musical legend.
Yeah, they managed.
That you would, and then being able to find it.
That's amazing.
Or just even know that was. It boggles the mind.
It does.
Me too.
Yes.
He's upset. He's always upset.
He's always upset. What a hothead.
A nice glass of warm milk would really help.
So this is pretty funny. Despite being Marvel's latest superhero and Madam Web, Dakota Johnson admitted during a recent interview with MTV's Josh Horowitz that she doesn't know much about the MCU.
No kidding.
When he asked what percentage of Marvel movies she's seen, the 50 Shades of Grey actor said 4%. And she jokingly added, which is like 15 minutes of one.
I watched the Ryan Airy Screen Crush review of Madam Web, and it's so much fun how much they hate it and trash on it. It's great, and I can't. I'll enjoy that more than probably watching the movie.
When he asked her if she could name all three Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, she said, Spider-Man, Here He Comes. That's number one. Spider-Man, and He's Back. And the other one, the last one, is The Goblet of Spider-Man.
Well, at least she's funny about it.
Yeah, agreed. But she's being savaged by her performance.
Yeah. No one's walking away from this one unscathed.
Yep. Deadline reports that Netflix announced the release date of the fourth and final season of The Umbrella Academy on Thursday.
Did you watch the third?
I did not. We watched the first episode and then it bailed on it. Was it good?
What do you think, Case?
No, it wasn't.
Too much?
Yeah, it was too much.
Too much chatter, not enough Umbrella?
The end of the universe type of crap. Yeah.
Which is too bad because I really liked the first two seasons. But
Yes.
The thing
I only saw the first. I know you guys had seen the second and recommended it.
Yeah, the thing I think that works for it, though, is that I've been invested in the characters.
Right.
And I like those guys, and I'm willing to stick around for the journey.
Right.
And so I will watch season 4.
Yeah, I got to get back on it. A new episode of the show, which is based on the comic book series of the same name, will be available on the streaming platform on August 8th. Meryl Streep is returning to the Arconia. The three-time Oscar winner has closed a deal to return for the fourth season of Hulu's Only Murders in the Building.
She was great. She was so good.
I've only got.
She kills everyone.
Oh,
Case.
she does. Yeah. No, well, just her coming back makes me. I'm like, okay, well. Right. Knowing that she's coming back for the fourth season,
well,
I know that
you don't know how it could have played out. Could she have been arrested and is still alive?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
But she is still alive, right? So
she's still alive. But I'll tell you what, it is worth. The show plays, as I said before, it plays as funny, it plays as dramatic. But it really does what you want it to do. It's a good murder mystery.
Yeah, I was laughing out loud at when they sit around for the table, read Preston. She sits around for this table where she gets this part in this Broadway show that Martin Short's character is directing and is written. And she starts to take these liberties with her character. And at first she's doing this like really thick Scottish accent. And people are looking around like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, she's funny in the show.
Really funny.
Yeah.
So, as previously announced, season 4 of the comedy starring Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez will begin with a trip to L.A. before the Central Action returns to its central location at the Arconia. Streep joins Molly Shannon with recurring roles in season 4.
If you want to see how funny Meryl Streep can be, in Death Becomes Her and She-Devil. As that's the Roseanne Barr movie, but she is this romance writer who's so full of herself, and she is hilarious.
She's also really funny, and it's complicated, too.
Yes,
Another good rom-com that she's great in. All right, so, new movies. opening today include Land of Bad. It's an action mystery. It stars Liam Hemsworth, Russell Crowe, and Luke Hemsworth. A covert special forces operation in the South Philippines spirals into a brutal 48-hour battle for survival when an elite extraction team is ambushed deep in enemy territory. Rookie officer Kinney is left outnumbered, but determined to leave no man behind. With an airstrike closing in, Kinney's only hope hinges on the guidance of Air Force drone pilot Reaper, navigating unknowable danger where every move could be their last. It's an hour and 50 minutes long. Rated R. Limited theater release. Rotten Tomato score 48%.
Get that gun, Kenny.
Yeah, is this going to be on Netflix? Because
I think it is,
okay.
yeah.
Bleeding Love is also opening. It's a drama starring Clara McGregor, Ewan McGregor, and Kim Zimmer. After a drastic incident in her life, a young woman embarks on an impromptu road trip with her estranged father en route to their destination of Santa Fe, New Mexico. The two are forced to confront the issues of their past that have led to their frail relationship, while encountering an eccentric array of characters along the way in order to bring them closer together again. Hour and 42 minutes long. Score, rated PG-13. Rotten Tomato score comes in at 53%.
I think Ewan McGregor's daughter looks a bit like Billie Eilish. If you look,
yes.
Yeah.
You know what? Nick just pulled up a quick clip of it, and I see the resemblance. Yeah. And then finally, No Way Up opens. It is an action-adventure. Stars Sophie McIntosh, Will Attenborough, and Jeremiah Amour. Ava, the daughter of the governor, of the governor of California, is hoping for a peaceful getaway with friends in the resort town of Cabo, Mexico, with her faithful minder, Brandon, in tow. But when the plane crashes in the Pacific Ocean and comes to rest on the edge of an underwater ravine, Ava and a handful of survivors are trapped in the airlocked cabin. Against the odds, Ava must fend for herself, contend with bloodthirsty sharks, and find the courage to step up and lead the crash survivors to safety. It is an hour and 30 minutes long. It's rated R. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 17%, but a solid 17%. So
if you know anything about sharks, it's the bloodthirsty ones that are the worst.
They are. All right, and there you go. That is what I have in the entertainment report. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce officially right now at this very moment, you can go to WMMR.com and find out what the Pearl Jam song of the day is. We have posted what it is and the time that it will play as well. So you get to dive into, pinpoint exactly when you need to be listening.
It's up to you now.
To MMR. And when you hear that song that is posted at WMMR.com later today, win a pair of tickets for the September 9th show. And, of course, Pearl Jam is playing September 7th and 9th at the Wells Fargo Center. You can also text the word Pearl to 39333 for a link to the Song of the Day cheat sheet, and you'll be first in line.
Love it.
All right. Now, we got to do the clips. I wanted to do that because it was up and running. All right, Sydney Sweeney stars as Julia Carpenter, one of three women protected by the Spider-Man superhero Cassie Webb. And here Sydney talks about her Madam Web costume.
My biggest question the first time I put it on was, how do we put all of the harnesses and layers on? Because it's a tight suit. You can't even really bend your leg all the way. And I remember we were practicing all these things, and then the moment you get the suit on, you're like, wait, I can't even move.
What about our huge freaking Hooters, huh?
Madam Web is in theaters now, by the way. Rotten Tomatoes gives it 13%. That's the critic ratings. That's the critic rating. The audience gives it a 55%. All right, here's the next clip. Bob Marley, One Love, focuses on the singer-songwriter's life from his rise to fame in the mid-1970s up until his death in 1981. In this clip, star Kingsley Ben-Adir talks about how hard it was to discover who Bob was outside of the public eye.
The instruction from Jamaica and the family was, you have to understand that this man was closer to a football manager in terms of his stance and his position. This is a guy from the street. Yes, he's vulnerable in his music, and his lyrics are an open book. But as a guy, trying to find stories about when he was vulnerable around other people, like who did see him cry? When was he? In private, who was he?
Bob Marley. One Love is in theaters now, by the way. So Bob.
And that actor, like, he came out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
I had no idea who this
Secret
dude was.
Invasion,
And then he was in Secret Invasion,
Right.
and then he shows up in the Barbie movie, and now he's Bob Marley.
Then Barbie Marley.
Barbie Marley. I like that. All right, that is the entertainment report. We got a bunch happening today. Kyle Dunnigan is stopping by the studio this morning. He'll be at Punchline tonight and through the weekend. And then around 10 o'clock, we have Billy D. Williams, who is going to be on the show. What are you laughing at?
Kyle Dunnigan is one of those comedians that just makes me laugh when I see him.
How's it going, guys?
Like he does so many different characters, and I was scrolling through his Instagram last night. It just like he automatically makes me laugh. He's just one of my favorites.
Well, we're going to get that live in the studio. And like I said, Billy D. Williams is going to be joining us via Zoom. How cool is that? A legend will be on the program. All right, we'll take a break. Come back in a second. We got bright sunshine, a little breezy and cool on this Friday morning, but it is a Friday morning, so we're happy about that. We'll be right back.
WMMR.
Thank you very much, Kathy. We're doing a little discussion off air.
Oh, it's okay.
So you want to want to do the connoisseur now?
I got some mini melts in front of me. I'm going to freak out if I can't have them.
Throw me a bell there, brother. All right. I need my bell. All right, hang on. Thank you. Got it. All right. Connoisseur time.
Yeah.
Yay.
We have food stories to share with you this morning, and we're also going to do some giveaways in conjunction with that. And the whole thing is brought to you by Mini Melts Ice Cream, and we have a new flavor to try out. I'll let you guys sample. I'll try a little bit later on because I can't sit here and eat while you guys eat and nobody's talking. Mint chocolate flavor. I am a fan. I am a fan of mint ice cream. I always have been. Yeah. So I'm excited that they do have a flavor. It is the perfect pairing of refreshing mint and savory chocolate, smooth and creamy. Totally hits the spot if you love the mint chocolate combo. Steve, what are your thoughts?
Home run. I agree with you about the mint chocolate combo.
Yes.
Excellent. My wife is a big mint fan. But you said something, though, that is interesting. They do manage to nail the creamy in an ice cream like this.
Right. And you wouldn't expect that.
You would not expect that.
Because it's number one, it's colder than your standard ice cream. So when you first put it in your mouth, you're like, okay, how is this going to change? And then it slowly starts to melt into this wonderful creaminess. Nick, what you thinking over there?
Damn good.
Yeah?
I keep waiting to not enjoy it. I don't know why, but my expectations every week are like, oh, this is going to be the week I finally don't like it. No, I like it every week.
Nice. All right, so this is available, by the way, at, let me see here. I've get the official information. Be found at Wawa and 7-Eleven. Also at area family entertainment centers and the Wells Fargo Center. Next time you're at a game, treat yourself to a cup of Mini Melts, the world's coolest ice cream. And keep in mind, soy-free, egg-free, peanut and tree nut-free, gluten-free, and sesame-free, but full of mint chocolatey flavor in every single bite.
Honestly, grab one. They're great. Got the spoon in it. Give it a shot. You'll see we're not lying.
Yep. So can somebody put this back in the freezer? Because I'll eat it when we're done. I've got to keep moving.
Or maybe it won't be there when you're done.
It's possible that might happen. All right. Thank you, Mini Melts. And here we go with a connoisseur story. Number one, and a lot of people sent me this on Wednesday, but I wanted to wait until Connoisseur Day to mention this. But William Bill Post, the man who created the beloved toaster treat Pop-Tarts, died on Saturday, his family announced. He was 96 years old. So the last name Post, it ranks
That's
up
him.
there with the all those great brands that Post and Kellogg's and things like that.
In an interesting confluence of events, Kyle Dunnigan on the show later on is appearing in the Jerry Seinfeld film that's coming out about this man.
That is correct.
Who created the Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder how many Pop-Tarts he ate in his life because I just saw something that listed Pop-Tarts, I think specifically strawberry, as one of the top 10 least healthy snack foods out there.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a breakfast right there.
Post, a Michigan native and son of immigrants who worked his way up from a truck washer to a senior vice president, brightened millions of Americans' mornings with the sweet pastry when it hit shelves in 1964. He's often credited with inventing the breakfast treat, though he would always say it was a team effort. When he was 16 years old, he got a part-time gig washing trucks at Heckman Biscuit Company that would eventually become the Keebler Company. 5 years later, he rose to the full-time position of personnel manager, but assisted with sales, production, or anything else that he could learn. And some 20 years later, when Post was the plant manager of Heckman, he welcomed executives from Kellogg's who asked Heckman Keebler to develop a product that they had in mind, and that, of course, ended up being the Pop-Tarts.
So ratio-wise, I probably consumed more Pop-Tarts as a snack when I was doing stand-up comedy and driving around. I hit a convenience store, and I go in, I grab a cup of coffee, and I grab Pop-Tarts. I used to love the brown sugar.
Yeah, those are good.
Awesome.
I was blueberry. That was my flavor.
Blueberry,
all
excellent.
the time.
Yeah.
But what I would always be surprised at, because Pop-Tarts you can just rip out of the container, eat, and go. But I always found when I did toast them, they were better. They were I was always surprised. I'm like, man, let me take the time to throw this in the dish.
One issue?
Take that out, and I'm like, damn, that's so much
Super
better.
hot.
They would get hot.
Yeah,
You just got to give them, about 30 seconds, cool off.
I wonder how they do in the air fryer. You know what? I'll let you know after the weekend, guys.
Okay.
I'll take it out for a test spin.
Try it out. Eventually, Post was promoted to a senior vice president after moving to Elmhurst, Illinois to work on the corporate offices of the Keebler Company in 1967. He later retired at age 56. That's a great man.
Wow.
You win. And moved to Glen Arbor, Michigan, though he stayed on as a consultant for the company for another 20 years. His story of the 4-month challenge to invent the Pop-Tart has inspired a Netflix film that is scheduled to be released in May. And yes, Jerry Seinfeld directed it and stars alongside it with a bunch of other big name comedians like Kyle Dunnigan, who's going to be here later this morning. So pretty cool little story and a nice, rich, full life at 96 years old. So I thought that was worth passing along. All right, let's play a clip, and we're going to give away $20 Wawa gift cards this morning.
We also have a couple of other prizes that we're going to give away.
Oh, okay.
We have tickets. It's not the bus trip, just tickets only to the Stadium Series tomorrow.
Nice.
Wow. So if you want to drive up the Turnpike or the New Jersey Turnpike, you can do that. And then I think there was something else in there. Marissa knows what it is.
All right. Well, let's play a clip and see if you can identify what movie this food clip is from.
Your boys are cops. They're cops. Please get on the ground. You get on the ground. We asked you first. Give a damn.
Cops. We partied together, man. You brought us Taco Bell.
Like, where's the food in this clip? All right, 215-263 WMMR. What movie is that from? Order up. All right, I saw this. This is not like a news story or anything. I stumbled across a Wikipedia page, and I just thought this was an interesting food tidbit to pass along to you guys. It's about a product called the Whole Shebang.
The Whole Shebang.
Yeah, you guys ever heard of this?
No.
It is a brand of seasoned snacks. Now, by the way, there are probably several people listening right now that are going, I know what that is, and I'll tell you why. It is a brand of seasoned snacks made by the Keefe Group, a company that specializes in serving the prison population. And a spin-off of the Keefe Group's Moon Lodge potato chips, the Whole Shebang, has garnered a cult following among former inmates as well as those who have never been incarcerated due to the positive word of mouth leading the company to sell them to the general public.
So basically like Chi-Chi, like food that you are familiar with from prison.
Yeah, I mean, but you didn't have to do anything. Chi-Chi's like a mix of stuff. This is just the product, but it got so popular that when people would leave prison, they would try to seek it out, and it led to them releasing it to the public because it was only made for prisoners.
Well, that's like when I was going to school, they used to have Linden's or Linder's, I think it was. They were Linden brownies, which I loved, and only in school, and then I would order them from the company to have them at home because you just, whether they're good or not, you just kind of, I love that.
You also like the chocolate chip cookies because I bought them for you because we were talking about it a couple of years ago or whatever. I'm like,
freaking love them, yeah.
Oh, the butter toffee cookies.
The Whole Shebang started off as a flavor of Moon Lodge potato chips by Keefe's private label brand of potato chips for prison commissary stores.
I want to try them.
I do too. The flavor is often described as a hybrid between salt and vinegar and barbecue potato chips sold in more mainstream retail channels known in Canada as all dressed. So ex-inmates began looking for the product once released from prison, but couldn't find it, leading to a gray market for the whole shebang through e-commerce sites such as eBay. And many others used social media to contact Keefe directly, asking them to offer the chips for sale to the general public. In 2012, Keefe acknowledged publicly that they had a major hit on their hands, but would not offer the whole shebang for sale to the general public.
That's wild.
By 2016, however, the demand from ex-inmates, including those who served as little as 60 days in a county jail as well as prison visitors, prompted Keefe to spin off the whole shebang from their Moon Lodge line and offer them online for the general public.
Apparently, they're like Cracker Jacks, Preston, and there are shivs in each bag.
Whoa. Oh, no way. Keefe offers the whole shebang in several flavors. The whole shebang original potato chips, extreme rippled potato chips, extreme kettle cooked potato chips, the original popcorn, that's been discontinued. And their extreme crunchies and original peanuts as well.
Yeah, I definitely want to try it.
So it's called the whole shebang. I thought that was interesting.
Something that can make prison enjoyable has got to be good.
All right, let's see if somebody knows what movie this is from.
Your boys are cops. They're cops. Please get on the ground. You get on the ground. We asked you first. Give a damn.
You cops. We partied together, man. You bought us Taco Bell.
All right, we'll see if somebody knows what movie that is from. We will go to Brendan. Hi, Brendan.
Hello, good morning, Casey. That movie is 21 Jump Street.
That is correct. Nice work, Brendan. Hang on the line. Here's what we have for you.
We have a $20 Wawa gift card courtesy of The Preston and Steve Show. You can check them out Monday through Friday, 6 at 10:30 a.m. on 93.3 WMMR. Check them out online at PrestonandSteve.com.
All right, next movie. Let's see if we can identify this. It's a food clip. Here we go.
I just saw a man fall 7 stories into a platter of poached salmon. That's what happened.
Did you break anything?
Yes, everything. They're still pulling capers out of his forehead.
All right, 215-263 WMMR. Do you know what movie that is from? Let's find out. Next order up. All right. Scientists have created new forms of cheese after discovering how blue cheese gets its classic look. Scientists out of the UK were able to manipulate the chemical pathway that creates these blue veins in order to make yellow, reddish, and brown cheeses. So they are changing the colors of cheese.
What do you think about blue cheese?
I love it.
So I used to hate it. Mm-hmm. When it's applied to certain things, though, I realize I love it. And it has now become a favorite in salads.
It's a very strong flavor.
It is a strong cheese.
And you've got varieties, ones that are more, you have Stilton and Maytag and Shropshire, and there's a whole bunch of different blues, there's a whole family of them.
In a burger.
Roquefort, yeah. Yep,
yeah, I
absolutely.
feel like certain things like that, like I could almost have it on a burger, but I wouldn't. If it's on the menu, like on a salad, I get it taken off.
It really changes the dynamic of what you're eating. Like it can overpower the rest of the meal, which sometimes can be fine. Why the hell are they doing this?
So that's a good question. Taste test volunteers have claimed the reddish and brown cheeses were more tangy, while the lighter cheeses had a mild flavor. However, scientists suspect the color of the cheese could have influenced their findings. So I don't know. They're just tinkering around with it a little bit.
It's like when they made ketchup purple.
There's a blue cheese that I love. It's called Shropshire Blue. It's out of England, and it's actually yellow. But it has the blue veins in it, and it is fantastic. The thing about blue cheese is you have to, number one, you can't put too much of it on, but you have to kind of savor it.
Right.
You have to put it in your mouth, and you have to let it dissolve and take in the flavors. And you're not just like, you would with a piece of cheddar, just throw it in your mouth, chew it up, and swallow it.
Right.
You got to kind of, let it sit for a little bit. It's interesting. But there was a time when I found it a little overpowering as well, but now I love blue cheese. All right, let's see. Let's see if anyone knows what movie this is from.
I just saw a man fall 7 stories into a platter of poached salmon. That's what happened.
Did you break anything?
Yes, everything. They're still pulling capers out of his forehead.
All right, we'll go to Ken. See if he knows. Hi, Ken.
Analyze this.
Very good, Ken. Not even everybody's in a mood today. All right, Ken. Here's what we have for you.
We got a $20 Wawa gift card courtesy of Preston and Steve Show.
Guess what you can get there?
Next.
Mini Melts.
Next. What?
Mini Melts at Wawa.
Oh, you can get them, yes. All right, next movie clip, Case. Do we have another movie clip?
Yep, ready to go.
Let's see if you know what movie this is from.
Hello, Bruce. It has been 3 weeks since my last fish. On my honour, or may I be chopped up and made into soup.
All right. 215-263-WMMR. Now ring the bell.
Yay.
Order up. Sorry, I did that too early, Case. This was last week. I didn't get a chance to get to this in the Connoisseur, but I wanted to mention this. Hershey's announced layoffs after reporting its quarterly earnings were hit by the soaring cost of cocoa. And in fact, I saw another story this morning about how cocoa is, the costs are going way up. There's been weather problems that have caused the crops to really be in a bad way, so that shoots the price way up.
Yeah, this was a long time in the making. We heard a year and a half, 2 years ago that the cocoa supply around the world had diminished because of these variables.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're hitting it. Now the price is skyrocketing.
You know what's wild is I have a friend she's from Manchester, and every time she comes over, she'll like for a party or whatever, she brings a box of English chocolate. No, not Toblerone, but basically like Wonka chocolates, right? And it's really weird because their Milky Ways are our Three Musketeers. And they have and their Mars bar is like our Milky Way. But anyway, their chocolate, English chocolate, tastes different than American, and she doesn't like American chocolate.
Yeah,
and I don't like English chocolate.
Most of the Europeans do not like the milk chocolate that's made in America, specifically Hershey's.
Yeah,
it is different. It's not as flavorful. I think they probably use more and darker cocoa. It's just a guess.
You're probably right.
But and I taste it. You can taste the differences if you compare the two. There's a little less flavor in the Hershey chocolate, but I love it. I'll never get tired of it.
For crying out loud.
Yeah. So it wasn't exactly clear on how many jobs among the company's workforce of roughly 18,075 full-time and nearly 2,000 part-time staffers would be affected, or what teams would be impacted.
Imagine getting fired from the sweetest place on earth.
The layoffs are part of a new multi-year productivity initiative to generate long-term savings as the company looks to offset declining sales in the face of rising cacao, sugar, and labor costs as well.
Well, when Milton Hershey began, his candy was caramels.
Correct.
And then he moved over to chocolate.
Right.
Yeah. So get back to the caramel. Get back to where you once belonged.
Is that what he should do? Get back to where you once belonged? If you do go to Hershey Park and you stay in any of the Hershey properties there, you'll learn the history of Milton Hershey.
You will.
It's on the TV.
I watch it every time I'm out there.
It's great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cocoa prices are nearly 65% higher than they were this time last year.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy.
While consumer demand remains relatively strong, so do elevated cocoa costs as West African farmers grapple with ongoing unfavorable growing conditions and crop disease.
So there's nothing like, I can't believe it's not cocoa?
Not that I know of.
Damn it.
All right, do you know what movie this is from?
Hello, Bruce. It has been 3 weeks since my last fish. On my honour, or may I be chopped up and made into soup.
All right, we're going to go to Adam. Hi there, Adam. Adam, that clip we played, what movie is it from, please?
That sounds like Finding Nemo.
It is.
Yeah!
Very good, sir. We have a prize for you.
We got a $20 Wawa gift card, and you can get yourself some mini melts at Wawa while you're there, and that is for courtesy of Preston and Steve.
By the way, look for the mini melts freezer.
Yes.
Correct. All right, here is our next movie food clip. Here we go.
You don't like old people, do you?
Me? Sure I do.
Come on.
Well, except for one thing. I used to work at a smorgasbord, and the old people would flock there, and they love to eat, and they just jam their mouths, and they just would eat with their mouths open. It's just too much for me.
All right, 215-263-WMMR. Let's see if we know what movie that's from. I'm so happy you included that one, Marissa. All right, order up. Here's a story that's got a local flavor to it. Taco Bell's inaugural Live Maz Live event on Friday in Las Vegas. They had their Taco Bell's global chief food and innovator officer.
You know what?
What?
You know what it is? I totally understand why you read it that way, but it's Live Mas Live.
Yeah.
Oh, Live Mas Live?
I know, but it reads ridiculous. But like their slogan is
like
Live
live
Mas.
a lot.
Yeah, and so it's Liv Moss live.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
How would you delineate?
I know. It's insane.
I said live Moz live.
Well, I don't even know. It doesn't matter.
Live Moz live. Live Moz live. So Liz Matthews announced the launch of TBX, the all-new chef-centric collaboration program with Taco Bell. The program supports and connects emerging culinary talent nationwide, and it provides participating chefs free meals, limited edition merchandise, and the opportunity to co-create menu items. And there's a local chef they're partnering with, Philadelphia's very own Ruben Azaram. Selected for individual creativity, unique culinary point of view, longtime love of all things Taco Bell. Ruben, in partnership with chefs from the Taco Bell Test Kitchen, will remix one of the brand's most hackable and iconic menu items, the Crunchwrap Supreme, debuting later this year in select markets.
I like the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Ruben, who is the owner of the creative pop-up concept called Ruby, was selected as one of the 3 founding members of the TBX program.
We're looking at it right now on the screen, Preston, the video of the event.
At his pop-up concept, Ruben seamlessly blends Mexican and Indian flavors to create a truly unique culinary experience. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I tried
Marissa,
that.
you've had it before? You've had Ruben's stuff?
Yeah, Ruby's a friend of mine. He makes all of his sauces like pink. That's kind of his signature color, and they're delicious.
Okay, all of his sauces are pink.
Well, some of his sauces are like pink and purple. He kind of uses natural ingredients to make like a vibrant food.
Okay.
What's this restaurant?
They're
It's called
all
Ruby.
pink on the inside.
So right now he does pop-ups. I think he has a residency coming that is not announced yet, but he's done them at like the Lucky Well Incubator with our friend Chad Rosenthal and a whole bunch of breweries and places around.
Taco Bell's smart in knowing that these riffs on their menu, they tend to go over big with the consumers.
Yeah. I mean, and if only temporarily, that's fine.
Just love it.
Yeah. So later this year, Taco Bell will share details on how, when, and where fans can taste the remixed Crunchwrap Supremes innovations, by the way.
Jace just said to me, he was like, can we go to Taco Bell? I'm like, okay. He's never had Taco Bell because there's none near us.
Not one near you?
No.
Yeah, that's a problem if you don't have it near you, you know.
And he likes real Mexican food, so I'm wondering if he's gonna have it and not like it. But anyway, he just recently asked me if we could try it. I'm like, yeah, I'll have to find
It's a rite of
location.
passage.
But we have one near us. I'll hit it every now and then. I like a good burrito supreme, man.
It's Americanized.
Yeah. Mexican food.
Yeah. It's weird because when I first had Taco Bell, I didn't like it years ago because I didn't know what to expect. Then I had real Mexican or just authentic Mexican, and that made me reappreciate Taco Bell for it. It is a variation on it. You know what I'm saying?
It just reminds me of my childhood. Like I just remember the little carrying case with like the 20 soft tacos.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll see if somebody knows what movie this is from.
You don't like old people, do you?
Me? Sure I do.
Come on.
Well, except for one thing. I used to work at a smorgasbord, and the old people would flock there, and they love to eat, and they just jam their mouths, and they just would eat with their mouths open. To be honest, it's just too much for me.
All right, let's see. Let's see if you know what movie this is from. We'll go to Chris, see if we can get an answer. Hi, Chris. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Chris. Do you know what movie that's from?
Serendipity.
No. That is John Cusack, but that is not Serendipity. Sorry. We will go next to Mike. Hey, Mike.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm going with Better Off Dead, baby.
Another John Cusack movie, but that is incorrect. Sorry.
Good guess, though.
All right, we'll go next to Carmela.
You're on line 6. You got to put
Hi
them on.
there, Carmela. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Hi.
You guys rock.
Thank you. What movie is that?
Say anything.
Say anything is correct. Hang on, Carmela. We have a gift for you.
We got a $20 Wawa gift card courtesy of Preston and Steve.
Wonderful. All right, we have another clip queued up.
Yes, sir.
All right, what movie is this clip from?
Roy, what did it look like?
It was like an ice cream cone.
What flavor?
Orange. It was orange. And it wasn't like an ice cream cone. It was more like a shell, It was like this.
Like a taco? Was it like one of those Sara Lee moon-shaped cookies? Those crescent cookies?
All right, 215-263 WMMR. That might be a tough one. We'll see if you know. I've only got time for a couple of more. we'll go with this one. If you ever saw a recipe on TikTok that looked good, but you didn't feel like cooking it yourself, there is now a ghost kitchen for that.
So they're following through with this.
I guess so.
Yeah.
You saw this, I guess?
Years ago. No, not years ago. I just flat out made that a while ago, I should say. They mentioned that this might be a possibility, but they didn't have any projected date of when they would do this.
So Creator's Kitchen as seen on TikTok is what it's called. Offers a rotating menu of viral dishes. The initial menu offers Italian-inspired dishes like shrimp scampi linguine, pasta chips, fried lasagna, and Cajun chicken pasta. The best part, the TikTok creator who made the meal famous will receive a share of the sales. The concept is live in 100 locations across 32 states. I don't have the locations or anything like that.
Have you ever seen something? I mean, we talk about it all the time. Things will pop up, certain trends, and some things have looked interesting.
Yeah, but if I really want to try them, I'll try making them.
Yeah, so
and that's what I've done.
Perfect example would have been the cookie dough waffles.
Yeah.
That I first saw on TikTok.
Right. We tried it.
Yeah.
Man,
Didn't work.
I drop bookmarks
Not
on
really.
Instagram, like Reels, all the time, and I don't think I have ever gone back. I see it, I'm like, oh, that looks really good, and it looks easy to make. All right, let me mark that, and then I never go back.
I don't do it that often. I've only done it a couple times. We did one time where it was essentially an onion that you wrap in hamburger and cook it.
Go on.
Whole like that. Yeah. It was pretty good. It was
All right.
a real pain in the ass to make.
But you cooked the onion?
Yeah.
I like it.
You bake it and everything, and I've forgotten. I made it a long time ago, but it was good, but not good enough to make me go, yeah, we're gonna do that all the time. You know, so
There was one I saw yesterday. I didn't save it because I don't like Cadbury cream eggs, but you put something else in the middle. But you take a crescent roll and you wrap a cream egg in there, and then you cook the crescent roll.
Okay.
And then you get this melted gooey chocolate goodness inside.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like the
me neither. That's why I got to
egg.
figure out
Yeah.
what I got to put inside instead of that.
try a Hershey's Kiss. Just do a regular. I mean, it would be like a chocolate croissant of sorts,
Or maybe
without the actual croissant.
Maybe
part
the
of it.
caramel
Chocolate
egg I
croissant.
could do instead of the cream egg.
Yeah,
do
that
that.
would work.
Okay.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Like we were able to workshop
this out.
Yeah, glad we worked that out.
We fixed it.
I don't know what to do. All right,
I'm
let's see
just
if,
one man.
let's see if you know what movie this is from. Then we'll do one more, and that's it. Here we go.
Roy, what did it look like?
It was like an ice cream cone.
What flavor?
Orange. It was orange. And it wasn't like an ice cream cone. It was more like a shell, you know? It was like this.
Like a taco? Was it like one of those Sara Lee moon-shaped cookies? Those crescent cookies?
All right, let's go to Carter. Hey, Carter.
Gadzooks, guys.
Gadzooks, buddy. All right, movie, please.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
You know, the ships were described when Spielberg was articulating how he wanted them to look, like sundaes and desserts and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go. The food tie-in. And what do we have for Carter?
Wawa gift card, $20 from Preston and Steve.
We've been very generous today.
You really have.
One last clip, and here it comes.
Jenny!
May I see a menu, please?
Special today, Yankee bean soup with spoon.
All right. With spoon. 215-263. WMMR. Next order up.
Ding, ding.
Okay, I'm going to ask you guys, because I have a few of them that I could get to. Do you want me to do a local thing, a dessert thing, or a recall thing?
Dessert.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Kathy read my mind.
All right, fair enough. Dairy Queen has a new Nutter Butter Shake that's coming out on April 1st. And
That just made me create a Bust-A-Nutter shake in my pants.
it sounds tasty. I loved Nutter Butter cookies.
Yeah.
Used to love those, and they're making a shake with it.
Yeah, the Freddy's Steak Burgers near me, they have ice cream sandwiches, and one of them is a Nutter Butter ice cream sandwich.
What?
It is, yeah, and the other one is Oreo.
Okay.
So it's Oreo cookie, basically.
And by the way, they at Freddy's they use custard.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
Which is way more rich than your standard ice cream. So explain to me the Nutter Butter.
It's a straight up and they're bigger Nutter Butter
Okay, 'cause
cookies.
I was going to say those are fairly small.
No, it's big.
Okay.
So probably, Press, you can explain to our listening audience the size. That's probably the size of it. Like that round and then like that thick.
All right.
Okay, so like the size of a coaster.
Yeah.
Do that again, Case, and then tickle underneath.
No, basically, it's a little bit smaller than maybe a Klondike bar.
Okay.
So it looks yummy, but so does this, the Nutter Butter Shake. As this is the person who wrote this article said, as a peanut butter fan, I have to say this one, I'm just calling. This one is just calling my name. I believe this one starts with vanilla soft serve, which is then blended with peanut butter and Nutter Butter cookies. The only downside is we still have about 6 weeks until it comes out, but it's something to look forward to.
Limited?
Usually they have like a rotating list of. Well, that's their blizzards. I don't know about their shakes.
Are you a Dairy Queen frequenter?
much so.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
I think is your almost like near daily.
Not daily, but we have one nearby, and it's real easy to go to.
Right.
My preferred ice cream place to go to is probably Brewster's, but it's a little bit of a drive from us.
Right.
But yeah, I'm a Dairy Queen fan.
I went this past summer. I took Jace and my nephew to get ice cream, and I couldn't believe they suggested, not Jace, but my nephew and his mom suggested Dairy Queen. Now, I like Dairy Queen very much, but we have like a little local ice cream shop, which is what we always go to.
Right.
We always go to Scoops. It's just they have great ice cream. It's just where we go. So I was shocked that they chose Dairy Queen over
more like
that.
a chain.
And so we ended up going. I mean, it was great, but I just don't think of it. It's right there. It's, like a few blocks away.
It almost just becomes part of the scenery.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have a hankering for soft serve over scooped ice cream, so maybe that was it.
Yep.
You know.
Wawa, not Wawa. I do love Wawa. Wendy's is coming up with an orange creamsicle frosty, and it's coming out soon. You're saying
I'm not Orange Julius fan. Orange creamsicle. I don't like orange ice cream.
Well, then that's not
yeah, no.
Coors Brothers at the shore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Their
That's
orange
custard.
and cream thing is
I
fantastic.
celebrate your enjoyment of it. Jimmy.
Jimmy. Yeah. Hey, what would you like on top of your custard?
Jimmy.
One. Jimmy's.
No, just one Jimmy.
Just one big Jimmy.
Just one chocolate Jimmy.
Yeah. Jimmy. How much for one Jimmy?
Yeah.
Preston, is that Dairy Queen that you frequent? Is that open year round?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't know if they all are, or I've forgotten.
It depends on if they have a walk-up window, I think.
I got you.
Or the ones that close.
I love Rita's, but obviously Rita's is not open year round, and so I'm looking for like a Blizzard type alternative.
What a sham! It's a ripoff. Are there any Ritas, Nick, that do have a little foyer or inside area?
Well, Rita's in malls will stay open for a little while.
There's a Rita's as you go into Clearwater before you get to the Scientology Center.
What?
On the right-hand side, yeah. And it's open. I think it's open year-round, but it's definitely open when we're down there for spring training.
Wait a minute. So I thought Rita's was completely regional.
I believe that it is, but it's sort of like Wawa in that part of Florida, is that they've opened a few Ritas down south.
Because there's so many Philadelphia transplants.
So Preston, next time we're driving from the ballpark back to Clearwater Beach, look on the right-hand side of that, whatever that main road is that goes east-west as you're crossing over the bay. On the right-hand side, you'll see that Rita's.
I don't know if I believe you.
Believe me.
Oh, okay.
So it's right near the Scientology Center?
It's before you get to the Scientology Center. So when you see all the blacked out windows, you know you've gone too far.
Try some suppressive peach.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if someone knows what movie this is from.
Jenny!
May I see a menu, please?
Oh. Special today, Yankee bean soup with spoon.
Wait a minute. Does he say Jimmy at the beginning of that?
Sounds like
I think Jenny.
Jenny!
Okay. Sounded kind of like Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
All right,
Jenny.
Let's see.
Anybody with a J.
If Valerie knows the answer. Hi, Valerie. Morning.
Hi.
Valerie, what movie is that from?
Muppet Take Manhattan.
Man. Yes, that is correct. Here's what we have for you.
Well, Valerie, you're going to be just outside of Manhattan tomorrow because you won a pair of tickets to Saturday's Orange and Black in the 2024 Stadium Series at the MetLife Stadium, which is just outside of New York City.
Wow, yeah.
Nice. Excellent. All right, we'll set you up. Congratulations. And what?
I'm sorry, that's courtesy of Philly Sports Strips. Check them out at phillysportstrips.com.
Speaking of Clearwater.
What?
Philly Sports
Philly
Strips.
Sports Strips.
Yeah.
Okay,
Jimmy.
Sorry. Thank you, Jimmy.
God.
Jimmy.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. Connoisseur's over. Yeah.
yeah.
Santa's got to go.
Santa's gotta go.
Jimmy's got to go.
Jimmy's got to go.
right, let's take a break because I got some bizarre file stories to share. We have Kyle Dunnigan stopping by, and Billy D. Williams will be on our show at 10 o'clock this morning. Exciting stuff, so stay with us. And if you haven't gotten the Pearl Jam Song of the Day yet, go to WMMR.com because day number 1 of 10 days of Pearl Jam starts today. We'll be right back.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Helium Comedy Club, bringing the laughs Philly for many years. Helium Comedy has the best comics of today and tomorrow, live every week. And tickets line up at heliumcomedy.com. Domino's Pizza Japan has released a public apology after a video of a male employee picking his nose and wiping his fingers on pizza dough went viral.
Mother of Christ. You gotta be kidding.
Domino's officials
snot's my thing. That's
apologized for any discomfort or inconvenience the disturbing video caused to their customers. The apology was released on Monday after a 15-second video showed a male employee picking his nose with the left index finger of his gloved hand and then proceeded to wipe it on the pizza dough. I mean, he could have taken the glove off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The snot is my Achilles heel.
Footage of the prank went viral, garnering criticism across the web. According to Domino's, the video was filmed by a part-time employee. The pizza dough in the footage, they said, was not used in any product.
Yeah.
And it was later thrown out. But
sure. Where's the footage of that?
Yeah. A New York man who hid snakes in his pants to smuggle them across the U.S.-Canadian border was sentenced on Wednesday. Authorities say Calvin Bautista admitted that he had 3 Burmese pythons in his pants when he rode a bus across the border at the Champlain port of entry.
Dude, your penis is eating a mouse.
Officers discovered the snakes concealed in bags attached to Bautista's pants near his inner thigh during a search. Authorities say Bautista failed to obtain the required permits and documentation to import the snakes into the U.S.
By the way, besides just the comical aspect of it, very often a large portion of what they're smuggling dies as they're transporting it.
He was sentenced to 1 year probation and fined $5,000. Kathy, I had you in mind.
Oh, boy.
When I saw this next story.
Okay.
An hour into a Delta flight from Amsterdam to Detroit, a plane had to turn around after maggots reportedly fell from an overhead cabin onto economy passengers.
So it's not for me, maggots for you.
Dude, maggots dropping on their heads. They had to go back. They had to turn around.
Yes. Delta flight DL-133.
Just crash it. I'm okay. Well, let's just go nose first.
Dive the plane into a mountain.
On Tuesday after a suitcase containing rotten fish in an overhead bin.
First of all, they were bringing fish. Second of all, it was rotten.
Broken open.
I think we can all agree we want to die. I'm going to fly the plane into a mountain.
The bin broke open and the maggots began to fall on the unsuspecting passengers.
It's raining maggots.
Once the plane landed, passengers exited. The cabin was cleaned and the suitcase involved was put in a bag to be burned. One of the flight attendants' passengers said that Delta staff identified the owner of the rotting suitcase and detained them on the plane after all the passengers disembarked.
How do they manage to intercept 4 ounces of mouthwash, but they miss out on the rotting fish?
On the rotting fish with maggots all over it.
The passenger named Kelsey said that those inconvenienced were given 8,000 air miles, hotel room compensation, and a $30 meal ticket if they were delayed overnight.
Oh, 8,000, huh?
And a hot tub.
And therapy for the rest of your life.
It's unclear if the suitcase owner was fined or if any action was taken against them. A Reddit user who was on the flight said, "My family and I were in the road directly in front of the maggots. The lady right behind us told the flight attendants the maggots were falling on her head. I turned around and they were wiggling around in the seat."
You little maggot! You make me want to vomit!
So what if a passenger was sitting back with her mouth open asleep?
Oh, dear God. Oh, God.
The airline's website says edible, perishable items are allowed on board as part of your carry-on baggage, provided there is no violation of agricultural restrictions for the destination country. It adds that Delta is not responsible for any perishable items that spoils or goes bad while in transit. Wow. Well, a pair of, quote, reckless clowns had a midday tryst while riding on the top of a moving subway train in Queens, according to photos of the apparent death-defying sex act.
Two clowns humping on the top of a subway car?
Yeah, they weren't actually wearing makeup and stuff like that, and clown outfits. They were.
That would have been great.
They called them reckless clowns. Posted along, there was a user who posted this along with two images showing 3 people on the roof of a 7 train as it crosses raised tracks above the Van Wyck Expressway.
Let's do it.
In the first image, a man's full buttocks are on display as his pants are at his knees while he grabs onto a second man. A third man is walking toward them in the picture.
We're thrusting.
The second image, which is zoomed out, shows the 2 men with their pants down embracing while the third sits on the edge of the train car roof behind them. They brought their cuck with them, Steve.
Good times.
The account said that the subway surfing romp happened last Friday afternoon, but the MTA was not able to confirm when it occurred. The transit agency slammed the obscene and dangerous stunt.
Yes, I don't think you need to be told that it's a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, the MTA has tried to crack down on subway surfing with a campaign in September discouraging youth from risking their lives atop moving trains after a huge uptick in both incidents and deaths. There's been a lot of people that have died doing this as of late, so they're trying to get people to stop doing it.
You've had banner stories like 2 or 3 days in a row, man. This is weird stuff going on.
Some good stuff.
Oh, the home run was yesterday.
Penn State guy?
Yeah, Penn State guy. Penn State guy wins.
All right, how about this one? A Nebraska woman's feathers were ruffled after her friend commented on how her home was untidy, leading the irate homeowner to allegedly stab her friends as her 2 children watched in horror.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Officers responded to a 911 call shortly after midnight on Sunday. When they arrived, 2 witnesses said the 24-year-old named Tatiana Iniguez attacked them after they commented on her home's untidiness. The women said they commented on the home since there were 4 young children present. The homeowner had 2 children, and one of the women had 2 others. During the interaction, Iniguez attacked one of the women and choked her. And the other woman stepped in to intervene, and police said that Iniguez began punching her in the head. And after one of the victims managed to separate Iniguez and the other victim, the 24-year-old woman allegedly grabbed a knife and began attacking her while threatening to kill her.
Simply for the assessment that her home is untidy.
Yeah, police said that Iniguez managed to stab one of the victims below her eye.
To be honest, I bet you if you went to Kathy's house and said that, she'd stab you too.
Authorities observed a 1.5-inch laceration below the woman's eye, as well as defensive wounds on her hand. The incident report, an officer noted that Iniguez's home was unsanitary and contained an extreme amount of dog feces in the basement and dead mice.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so
no maggots.
She was arrested and has a few felonies coming against her, and that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back in a second. A little later on this morning, Kyle Dunnigan stopping by. Billy D. Williams is on the show too. Word of the Week prize. Yeah, we got a bunch happening. Hang out with us. We'll be right back.
WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. So Shell and I are always looking for, shows to watch that the two of us can watch together and kind of make it a thing, a little appointment. Hey, let's get together and watch another episode of that show. And I know there's thousands of shows that your friends and family suggest to you, and we're not going to do that right now, so don't start calling and telling us what awesome shows are. But we started watching the other day, and sometimes it'll be a show from years and years ago that I just never got around to. So we started watching Mr. Robot. the other day.
Oh, it's a great show.
Watched the first episode.
Yeah.
I am all in.
Yeah.
I'm like outstanding. And you guys know, for the longest time, I thought Robot Chicken and Mr. Robot were the same show.
Yes. So Robot Chicken's great too.
I didn't understand the references. I'm like, but I thought it was a comedy. I thought it was
very different.
Yeah. So with that in mind, and I'm really happy that we found this because it's another show that we spend time together and something you can talk about. I saw this article in BuzzFeed, and I thought this is really cool. And the title of the article is, "It was the greatest decision I ever made." People are recalling the movies and TV shows that inspired them to change their life for the better.
Wow.
So I'm not just saying, hey, this is a really great show and I enjoyed it. This actually was important to you.
Okay.
Because it either changed how you look or felt at things,
life philosophy
about things, or maybe it motivated you to do something.
So a friend of ours who we love
I've got
dearly
examples here.
is very hyperbolic about that and will say, it will change your life.
Marilyn.
Right.
Yeah.
And we love her to death. She's the best. But there are things that can do that in entertainment. And so this speaks to me. I'm sorry, Dick, go ahead.
No. I've felt the way that Marilyn has felt sometimes, right? So, sometimes I'll walk out of the theater and it's like, that is the greatest movie I've ever seen in my brain.
Right.
And then, 2 months later, I see the greatest movie I've ever seen again. However,
he was both fast and furious.
Right, yes. In Tokyo, and they were drifting.
Drifting in another country.
But Steve, I had that feeling one time walking out of a theater, and then it has lived with me now for 24 years, and it really impacted how I've looked at life and appreciated life, and certainly have appreciated music. And that movie, for me anyway, is Almost Famous. I remember vividly walking out of the movie theater and thinking, oh my God, the way that this person wrote about music, the way that this person feels about music and is important to their life and then can shape their life career-wise around music, to me was incredibly impactful.
I'm going to give you guys some examples from this article, and I think most of us would agree that Ted Lasso had that kind of effect, that it made you maybe stop and appreciate people.
Smell the lasso.
Or smell the lasso. No, or maybe approach things differently and look at life a little bit differently.
I will say it did not, it just reaffirmed why it's good to do that. Why it's good to seek out the good in people.
Right.
And I remember the show being castigated for being positive and hopeful in the human spirit. And it's the most absurd thing when the show, it's like, that show, and in the same way, Preston, The Bear does that.
It's mentioned in this article.
Yeah.
There are a few people that agree with you in that. Here's an example. Nick, you'll identify with this. Someone had written in this article, "Into the Wild."
Oh, sure.
Flipped a switch in my head. Said I couldn't sleep.
I got to die in a bus.
I couldn't sleep.
That's the way to go.
I couldn't sleep the night after I watched it for the first time because I felt so excited just to live life. The next day, I started the process of leaving my small, super religious Texas hometown. It ignited my free spirit torch and created the hippie self that I am today. So it literally motivated them to change their conditions that they were in that they didn't really like.
Give us one or two more, and then I want to hear the one that did it for you.
Okay. Let's see. Here's an interesting one. This one says, believe it or not, my show of choice would be South Park.
All right.
In the episode called You're Getting Old, it was season 15, episode 7, the character Stan has a birthday and realizes that the world around him is changing. Things that he used to like all seemed, and I'll paraphrase, crappy. Things started to look like crap physically, which led him to become depressed, essentially. And you might think this episode would have a happy ending where Stan becomes happy and embraces the change. But no, this episode ends with a montage of Stan just living in a world of crap and sadness, and the song Landslide playing in the background. Well, how could this be impactful? He said, I've always had a fear of change, or this is from Millie, or she said, and growing up, I was scared of all this change. It would be too much for me to take. And if something bad would happen, I always assumed that I would be happy with these changes one day. The episode showed me that this might not happen because change is normal. It's a human thing and everyone is scared of it, but it's not going away anytime soon. So what do? We have to learn to just live with it. We can't be scared of it or it will ruin us. It can make you scared of living. Pretty interesting that an episode of South Park would make somebody think
that's
that deeply.
That is the interesting part. It can be a comedy. It can be It can be something profound and a monumental film. It can be a song.
Here's one that changed this person's life for the better. They said Queer Eye helped me to see that I wasn't taking very good care of myself. I started putting more effort into my appearance and keeping my home tidy, and it really pulled me out of a funk and helped me to enjoy my life more. So they changed the way.
Today I'm a successful drift racer.
It changed the way they went about things.
All right,
which is interesting.
You have one?
I was trying to think of that.
Or a couple.
Ted Lasso was the one that impacted me the strongest in quite a while. What were you thinking?
There's a whole bunch. I mean, if you're talking about my appreciation of opening your mind up to other concepts, Star Trek, the original Star Trek, seeing 2001: A Space Odyssey with my father, having my father reassess his perception of how I perceive things was that's why we had Keir Dullea in here. From 2001, it was a monumental thing. There are a number of movies. There's one in particular, George C. Scott. It's based on the Ernest Hemingway book, Islands in the Stream. And at the end, I'd read the book, but it didn't impact me as much as watching the movie. And at the end, there's a scene with this guy who's been estranged from his sons and tries to get back into his son's life. He's basically Ernest Hemingway in this story. And the narration, he says, all my life I've searched for the one thing that is true, but I was wrong. It is all true. And I was like, on your journey for something, you're sometimes missing other things that it's all there. You have to open your eyes to it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that was so profound, it carried with me forever.
Okay.
I'm not laughing at you guys. I'm laughing at myself. You guys are so deep. Like South Park? Are you kidding me? Seriously? I don't think I love Ted Lasso. It was great and it was really feel good, but it didn't impact or change my life in any way.
Okay. What do you think though? Maybe it's not as tectonic as you're perceiving it. Did you adopt a different philosophy about just the way you dress or?
No.
Nothing.
No? One time I bought lipstick that somebody wore in a TV show. Does that count?
Yes.
I bought the color she
wore. It motivated you.
Was it Bosom Buddies? It was.
No, it was. What was the show with? Oh man. I'll think of it and I'll let you guys know.
Let me go to a couple calls.
I have the lipstick. It's right here.
Was it Ferris Bueller?
I'm going to go to Austin. Hi, Austin. Good morning.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. What's up, bud?
So I have a show, it's called 6 Feet Under from HBO. I watched it as a teenager after I was already released. And it's all about grief. So the family runs a funeral home and they deal with grief. And every episode somebody dies. And you see that family go into the funeral home dealing with grief. And as a teenager, I never really dealt with that, luckily. And I kind of learned how to. And now as an adult, I can go through and take lessons on how to grieve and how there's no one way to do it. And nobody really tells you how to do that. And that show did a really good job of it.
They really do. In fact, Peter Krause's character, Nate Fisher, he's the one who kind of comes home and ends up helping take over the business after the father passes away. And the way he settles into his character, as it turns out, he is a natural for comforting families who have lost a loved one. And you see it in the very first time when he's sitting down there, when he starts to speak up, you're like, oh, what the hell is this guy going to say?
Right.
And then whatever he says is
just the right thing.
It's the right thing. And he does it time and time again throughout the series. And he's really, really good at it.
Case, as you're watching, is it sort of, because I just caught a little bit of it, is it sort of like almost like a tutorial for how to deal with people dealing with grief?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Because, and the thing is, and Austin, you'll agree with this, people lose their loved ones in a lot of different ways. Some are tragic and some are not. And, and again, everybody grieves differently. And just the way, and it's written, obviously these lines are written for him. So whoever is writing those lines for him, I guess has a really good grasp on grief.
There was a movie that taught me,
thanks, Austin.
Like you can't always have everything that you want. There was this movie, and these two girls just had one cup.
Oh my God! And they made it work.
They made it work.
Yeah.
Okay.
They worked together.
Yeah. And that cup was half empty.
Yeah,
and then
and
it was
they
half
saw it as
full.
half full of urine and
Oh,
feces.
God.
You're saying sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Bo Garrett's lipstick in Girlfriend's Guide
There
to
it is.
Divorce.
There it is. Kathy remembers that moment.
It's right here,
Like
Nick.
it
It's
was
Revlon.
yesterday.
Oh.
I'm going to go to John. Hi, John. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning to see you, John. What's up, buddy?
It's actually Tom, not John.
All right, Tom.
Car instructor we spoke to not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
So I've asked,
You owe me money.
No.
No, go ahead.
what made me where I'm at today is ER. Hands down, I love this TV show ER. Watch it, continue to watch it over and over again. I did work in an emergency room for many, many years. That's where I met the owner of my company today, and now in my older days, I'm now teaching CPR to people.
That's amazing. So let me ask you, what was it overall? Obviously, overall in general, was there one particular episode or character you aligned with and thought that's a model for me?
I always thought I was going to be Dr. Green, but then I was like, nah, it didn't end up being Dr. Green. So I was like, I'll be Nurse Hathaway.
Right.
Nurse Hathaway ended up being Jerry, the front desk ER technician guy. So it was everybody in that show gave me something. It was saving people. Being a hero is what I got from that show.
That's great, man. That's awesome.
I like it. All right. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Yeah. Steve, you had mentioned The Bear. And this is, if you're just tuning in, these are a TV show or a movie or an episode or whatever it was that made you go out and do something, inspired you to change your life for the better. I thought this was interesting. Somebody had said, in the early 1990s, I was in high school in the Midwest, and to say the culture was homophobic was an understatement. I'm hetero, but homosexuality was always a punchline. But then I saw a show on HBO called The Kids in the Hall, a sketch comedy show from Canada. We all love
them, yeah.
One troop member was Scott Thompson, an unapologetically gay character and comedian. He performed skits and monologues that were absolutely amazing, many of them regarding homosexuality. In retrospect, those skits and his bravery at that time reinforced what I already knew. It's totally okay to be gay. I am so grateful for that show and Scott Thompson for smashing stereotypes, especially during that time. I know my views in politics would be. I knew my views in politics would be very, very different today if not for that show. So that's pretty cool. Just seeing someone being open about their sexuality.
Yeah.
Here's one that says, The Bear has changed my life in so many ways. While I'm able to see some of the toxic behaviors as definitely negative, there are so many moments that resonated with me, such as being dedicated to one's art makes one a better person. Dedication to serving others and making them at their most comfortable transforms us into better people. The big thing that stood out in the show is how Carmi, despite having moments of not great leadership, is a great listener, mentor, teacher, and leader. He sees the hidden potential in all the people in his life and helps them find their greatness. He explains why certain terms are used as a sign of respect. If someone asks him to try a dish, he compliments him first and then critiques them. If someone has a question, he stops what he's doing and gives them his full attention. As a sidebar, there's also a comment where Chef Terry and Richie are peeling mushrooms. Why peeling mushrooms? It's a little thing that let the customers know that someone took the time and care to do such a small thing, essentially a preview of the amount of care and love that went into the dish. And they said, I volunteer with a high school theater doing costumes for their musicals, and I would always build something small into the outfits for those cast members and the audience that the audience can't see. The students now know that I do this, and they look for that extra little bit. Service and art. Whatever art is, blankets others with love and appreciation.
That's pretty deep.
That episode where Richie works in the fine restaurant is a great episode, and he learns all of those things. Yeah. A side note about The Bear, its soundtrack is perfect. The way that they use songs in those shows, in those episodes, it fits the shows really, really well. And there's a song by R.E.M. called Strange Currencies, and R.E.M. Released a video of that song, which is probably 30 years old.
As it's used in the show?
As it's used in the show.
Wow, there's a compliment.
So it's an official REM video, and they put it up on their YouTube channel with that song, but it's from all the scenes from The Bear.
What is the music, and it's beautiful, under Two Girls in a Cup?
I don't know.
It is gorgeous. And I remember that every time I'm just with someone else and we have one cup.
You think of the music
Think
and
of
it
the
brings you to
music.
maybe break out an extra cup. Yeah. I'm going to go to Sean. Hi, Sean. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, bud. What's up? What do you want to?
Bother you at work?
It's all good. What do you want to share with us?
I mean, Two of my favorite shows are My Name is Earl and The Good Place. And they're both about just, hey, looking at what you do every day, looking at what little actions you do that put good into the world and make the world a better place.
So therefore, does it make you try to follow suit and have those moments through the day?
1,000. And
yeah, that the show is about making amends. Yeah.
There have literally been times when I've been doing something, I'm like, this wouldn't have happened.
We're losing you.
Yeah, the signal's going bad. So we'll use it as to say, all right, I should probably use that as an example. And
there you go. God, I'm going to get teary-eyed.
I will go to Peter next. Hi, Peter. Good morning.
Morning, Queef. How are you?
Hey. Awesome. What's up, buddy?
Hey, so when I came home from the wars, I had a bad funk. I hated the world, hated myself. Difficult to keep friends, difficult to hold a job. And then in 2010, I saw Risky Business for the first time.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, when Curtis Armstrong said to, I think, if I can remember,
Joel,
the character, he said, sometimes you just got to say, what the F?
Yeah.
And I kid you not. I was like, yeah, all right. And I went to the VA, got the help that I needed. And
that's awesome.
I tried, moved out to Delco, and now I have a house, I have a wife. I got in Norwood, a son, and everything's going really good. But just by watching that, saying, "Hey,"
so just that phrase from that movie, flip the switch, and it came to you at the right time, and you it changed the way you approach things.
Yeah, it did.
I love that.
Sometimes you just need to hear the thing at the right time.
Yep.
It was a very bad point in my life, and I saw that, and I just said, you know what, WTF, let's do this.
That is awesome.
Right,
good for you,
man.
Peter.
That is awesome.
Thanks for telling us about that. I know I've had those moments. I'm trying to pinpoint it.
Well, probably what happens to you is it's more just an overall, like with me. Again, my stuff is going to be a little bit more obscure, but go ahead.
I know one, and I've said it before on the air. In the movie The Martian.
Yeah.
At the very, very end of the movie, Matt Damon's character is he's returned to Earth. Spoiler alert, he makes it back.
Yeah.
And he is now teaching future astronauts. And there's a class, and he's talking about, did I think I was going to die up there?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But he said, but that's what motivated me. And then he says about the process of getting out of there. He said the words, you just begin.
Yeah.
And I've used that many times.
You just begin.
When it's time to do something and I'm kind of putting it off, or I'm thinking I might not be able to do this, and the words you just begin hit me, and I'm like, that's how you do it. You start, you begin, no matter what, no matter where it is, no matter how hard it is, you just begin and let it happen.
Yeah.
It was really impactful.
That's a huge difference.
No doubt. I mean, that cup was empty at first. And
you remember, and there is a moment, and again, I'm going to start to tear up. The one girl looks at the other and says, are you going to crap in it first, or am I?
And then the other one has an idea, says, let me puke in it first. And then you can poop in it.
To the other girl's mind, it's like, I don't know. But
you just
begin.
Yes, let's just not forget, they were vomiting in that, too.
Yeah.
Not just pooping.
They were artists.
Yeah.
By the way, I love this conversation.
We love Two Girls in a Cup.
But at the same time, I sort of hate it, and because I have definitely had moments, watching a show or a movie where I felt like it impacted me, but then
you let it go.
I just settle back into who I am.
I know.
Don't beat yourself up for that. Sometimes I would guarantee you there have been things that even if they slightly moved you in a different direction, again.
Do you want to try on my lipstick?
Yeah,
exactly.
Dude.
But isn't it?
You would never put it on again.
Yeah. Isn't it though, Casey? And I think it's a human condition as well. You will get fired up and motivated about something and ready to Yes.
Oh, it's a classic. I forget
doing it.
See, yeah. The guy gets up and he goes walking and he goes and sits on the couch.
Yeah, and then an hour later, you're right back to your old crap
but
again.
Give yourself
But for that moment.
give yourself permission to be that person. So it didn't take that time. But like with the gentleman who had just called and had these profound issues, and learned from risky business. That was the right time for it to take. So, it's okay. Yeah.
I've got a friend who gets extremely motivated, like, I don't know, once every other month. And so, when that call comes in, I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to open up a business. And at first, like years ago, I was like, yes, you should do this. This is perfect. And it would be. She could actually do it. 2 days later, I'll call and I'm like, did you call about the business license? Oh, yeah, no. I don't, it's not.
I found a new lipstick.
Yeah, Steve, totally.
Let me go to some other calls, though. I'll go to Amanda. Hi there, Amanda.
Hi, sorry to bother you guys at work.
Nah, we asked you to call in. So what do you think? What movie, show, whatever that inspired you to change your life for the better?
That would be One Tree Hill.
Your favorite show, Preston?
Never saw it.
It started when I was in high school, and I was a sophomore, so I was dealing with some bullying at the time still. And the main character, he was like not the popular kid, and he had a lot of friends, but he ended up becoming a basketball star on the high school basketball team, and started hanging with the popular crowd, you would say. But he always treated everybody the same.
Oh, and you saw that as sort of a life lesson?
Yeah, like no matter where you are in life, just treat everybody the same, and your friends are always going to be there.
Oh, that's cool that it impacts. So in that way, it may not been that was a lesson that you learned over watching the show as opposed to just this switch being flicked. But it all improved your life, you'd say, right?
Yes, and I always treat everybody the same. I teach kindergarten to kids with special needs, so I'm the type of person, like, I won't treat anybody differently.
Well, that's beautiful, man.
Excellent.
That's great. Yeah. That's why it's Preston's favorite show.
Love it, Amanda.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's not a TV or a movie, but and my buddy Brian just texted me and reminded me that I have a friend named Brett who read a book. And in the book, he read a book one time, and
a friend of mine read a book.
And so as a result of reading this book, he changes the phrasing of things that he says to, instead of saying have to, he says get to. Right. So instead of saying I have to go to work today, he says I get to go to work today.
I get to take a crap.
Yeah. So like anytime that you're talking about something that maybe perhaps sounds like a burden, instead of changing have to change it to get to
an opportunity,
and it's more positive, right? Like instead of like, I have to drive my kids to this friend's house. No, I get to.
If you're looking to get a little inspired this weekend, I'm going to recommend a movie that Steve recommended to me, which is called The Boy Who Lived, and it's on HBO Max, and it's about this kid that was a stunt. Stunt guy on the Harry Potter films.
Really good.
And had an accident, and it's terrifying. But the way that his attitude is after the accident really is an inspirational way to live your life.
And you cannot argue with this guy's philosophy, especially with all that he's been through.
It's remarkable.
And remaining positive. Assess your gifts.
And as great as that is, I know I wouldn't be that positive. There's no way if life handed me that. Some people are just, they get it,
You can either be Gary Sinise prior to Gump or Gary Sinise after Gump.
That's a good way to put it. I will go to Brian. Hey, Brian, good morning. Brian, you there, bud? All right, he was going to say Rocky Balboa, the speech about getting hit and how
it's one of the great, the Rocky Balboa Christmas speech.
Not how hard you hit, it's how hard you get hit and can keep coming back. Let me go next to
like a billion.
Steve. I got Steve on the line. Hi, Steve.
Hey, good morning to see you guys.
Good morning to see you, buddy. What's up?
Not too much. I love Mr. Rogers. Dude changed my life completely when I had kids. I come in every single day from work, take off my shoes, put on my house shoes, take off my work shoes, put on my house shoes. I have a coat right there that I put on. My kids are right there. They see it, He just taught me how to be kind, to be gentle, to be positive, how to just love one another and really, really has affected me. I watched it as a young boy.
It's
and then
pretty
when
amazing.
I started watching it again.
Wow.
And, and just with them, I have 2 boys, and just so inspiring.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is the Christmas, the Scrooge, when every time he realizes that, it's Christmas Day, and he said, I didn't miss it, that changed. I cry every time. Because it's just inspiring to me that you can change in an instant from negative to positive and just shine some light on the world.
Christmas Carol is though it's my favorite book because it is the story of reclamation. It is I love a character in any work, whether it be true or whatever, a fictional story where someone makes that change. You want to hold out hope for everyone. Now, clearly, I think the turnaround story of Hitler had one would have been right. Well,
speaking of Mr. Rogers, you guys saw Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. Wow. But you know what? The documentary, as wonderful as that movie is, the documentary about Rogers is tenfold as impressive.
Oh, I'm sure. But I just like the story of the author, the columnist, and his dad, and how his relationship when he was interviewing Mr. Rogers informed him on his own life to go in and go, I need to reassess.
The sequence where they go to Tokyo and they start drift racing.
Different movie.
So amazing.
Not a different.
I know we got to wrap up, Case, but real quick, let me go to Chris. Hi, Chris. Good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. So what movie or show inspired you to change your life for the better?
All right, I know you're going to get a big head about it, but the Preston and Steve show.
What? Stop it.
Oh, I've never seen
And Preston, I just want to thank you because, you guys are talking about you want to start something, and you're like, screw it, I'm going back to the couch.
Yeah.
So the line that you just said about a few minutes ago, just begin.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm using that tomorrow.
Good man.
Wow. Why not today?
Why not today?
Because he just bought a new couch. I just bought a new couch.
I'm kind of tired today.
I'm working. I can't do it today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then call us on Monday. Let me know how it goes tomorrow.
But I really want to thank you for saying I never heard that line before, but just begin.
There you go.
Just begin.
Kathy didn't inspire you with the lipstick thing? I didn't.
No, but it says,
guys, I appreciate it.
No problem. But in the movie, he says you just begin. You solve the first problem, and then you solve the next problem, and you just you work at it.
Yeah.
It's Revlon Solar Coral. All right. It's the Revlon Super lip gloss.
It's a pretty amazing lipstick.
Yeah.
PFS in that or SPF?
No, this is just a gloss. You're going to need to put that a base on.
You remember, it appears in Schindler's List. You save one life, you save the world.
That's
and then
right.
he says, and it helps if you have this lipstick.
You go to line 5. Steve's been on hold for almost 18 minutes, and he's just got. I just want to hear the last line from the movie that did it for him.
All right. Hi, Steve. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, your ass.
Hey, buddy. What's up, man?
Movie Castaway. Couldn't stand it, but the last line in the movie, when Tom Hanks is giving his speech talking about what got him through the island, he just said, tomorrow the sun will rise. And personally, I've been through a lot of stuff, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
And just know that you can't stop time, but that's a great thing, because if today didn't go your way, tomorrow might. And if it get a little choked up.
I hear you.
Dude, you're exactly right. And don't. It's wonderful that you are getting choked up. It means it resonates with you.
Yeah, so, and it, honestly, that lesson has been taught forever and ever. Like Annie sang about it. The sun will come out tomorrow. But
that's true.
Yeah,
but sometimes it takes the right presentation to connect to you.
Exactly. In Forrest Gump, when he kills Jenny, he says something very beautiful.
Yeah,
you talk too much.
He had AIDS. It was.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a different movie.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Steve. Thanks for sharing, man. We do appreciate it. I apologize to those who I did not get. I apologize to my Chris Gunn and the Skull Sealer.
I'd like to apologize to Jennifer Garner and her pool boy, Ben Affleck, for incorporating them into my fantasy life.
I
apologize to anyone who's been offended by my fictional creations, Chris Gunn, the Philosopher of Evil, and the Skull Sealer.
And I also want to apologize to Jimmy because he definitely.
Jimmy.
I'm sorry,
Jimmy. I apologize to Jimmy.
To those who I didn't get a chance to go to on the calls, we do appreciate you checking in, though. All right, we have to take a break because we've got a guest popping in a little bit. Kyle Dunnigan's going to be here. Punchline is where he performs through the weekend. And then at 10, Billy D. freaking Williams is going to be on the show. So we'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Our next guest is going to be at Punchline tonight and tomorrow. And there's a show on Sunday as well, a 7 p.m. show. Tickets available at punchlinephilly.com. And it's a wonderful day because he kind of remembers us. Please welcome Kyle Dunnigan.
I really do. I really do.
Hey, man.
It's not. That wasn't lying. I sort of, kind of, you look familiar.
Yeah.
That's enough. That's enough.
By the way, I was listening. I was feeling pretty good this morning, and I was listening to you guys, and you go, next up, Kyle Dunnigan, he's gonna be at the Chuckle Hut on whatever. And, you went, and then Billy D. Williams will be, and then my confidence I was like, I guess I'm not as good as the guy from Star Wars, from 1981. Just kidding, I love Billy D. Billy D's a legend.
Have you ever met Billy D?
He is.
No, I haven't,
Yes.
but I do like Billy D. And look, I get it. You know, Billy D. It's very exciting. I'm in the studio, and then Kyle's at the I don't know, the banana giggle shack.
You're misreading the room, though.
I don't think I did.
We're huge fans.
I think I read the room exactly right, actually.
We're huge fans.
We are huge fans.
And you know I'm a huge fan. You guys look so familiar. I love that.
I mean, if you could, we made such an impact, you kind of think you remember us.
You did say, Kyle, when you got here, nice to meet you, and we had all met you before.
Yeah.
No, that was a joke.
Yeah. That's exactly what someone who's trying to cover over a mistake would say.
I do because I do have a really bad, I think I have the thing where like Brad Pitt said he had it where you can't recognize a face. So I always say to people, how you doing? I never went nice to meet you. I did it today. Clearly it was a mistake. But normally I go, hey, what's going on? How you doing? I never say, nice to meet you.
So I'm the opposite. I'm great with faces and horrible with names.
Yeah, I have that too. That disease I have too.
You know what I say instead of good to meet you, because I've been burned too many times, is I just say it's great to see you. And then they'll say it's good to meet you, and I'll go, we never met before.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that.
No, don't say that.
No, you say, don't play me like that. And then you're getting confused.
I kind of wink sometimes. I'm like, I remember us. And then they panic. They get them on their heels.
You know what I used to love to do in college, and this is such a sophomoric thing to do, but if there was somebody at a party that I didn't know, but somebody else knew them, I would get as much information from that person about them as possible, and then pretend like we knew each other from way back when, like that we had a history class in high school together. Yeah. I don't know why I got such a kick out of that, but I loved it.
It's high school.
Yeah.
No, it was college.
Oh, okay.
That's good people skills. They don't teach that. Here's what you got to teach in high school to kids. That, like how to be a good, someone, make people feel good.
Yeah.
You're going to be successful.
The certain pleasantries.
A.
Right.
That's A.
Right.
B. And I came on here to teach, not to be a comedian.
Yeah. School's open.
I got up early this morning. B. Mortgages.
Yes.
Just like 20 minutes. Explain that to me. I went to look at a house in Venice, California, real quick story, and I just gotten some Pizza Hut campaign commercial. And I thought I was a real hotshot. I'm like, I'm going to go mansion shopping, you know? And,
you got Pizza Hut money.
Pizza Hut money is going to be coming in. So I go to this, a half a block from the sand. Like, you could see the sand.
Wow.
Santa Monica. It's a 2-story, 2-bedroom. Lady goes, it's a $286,000. And I was like, I don't have that kind of money lying around. Yeah. I had no idea I could have put down. That thing's worth
20%.
It's worth $3 million.
Oh, my God,
man.
Sure.
But anyway, quick story about the pizza commercials. So there's a campaign, which is like Flow, Progressive, like you can retire.
Yeah. Oh,
So, yeah. And so then it was like the big New Yorker pizza, you know? And then 9/11 happened, and it was like the campaign just was bad taste. It was something like the explosion of flavors. This will knock the buildings down. Oh my God! Oh, you got brought that up.
Yeah. We have commercials
I
playing in
thought
the
that
studio.
was a. There I am. Oh my God! Look how young and
we have the
hopeful I
commercial
was.
on our monitor here in the studio.
That's a young man whose dreams weren't crushed.
So was it a one and done spot, or you had?
We did 4, but they didn't air 3 of them. I made like $80.
Kyle, you should just keep the campaign going on your own.
I honestly, like, that's why I'm here. I'm trying to get some the Pizza Hut people, if you're listening.
Yeah. I'm sorry to interject. There was a nearly beachfront property in Santa Monica for $287,000.
86 it was lower than that.
Yeah.
286? What year are we talking about?
It was 2001. September. And
we think we know the date.
Yeah. It was a 2-story. It wasn't huge. It was a 2-story condo.
Okay.
And it came with all this furniture, which was really nice too.
That's a steal.
And I was like, no, thank you. Anyway, this goes back to let kids know about mortgages. I always think I'm an idiot. You're like, I knew about a mortgage. No one said it, so I didn't know it.
But you have the balls to say it. So many people don't. I remember I did not understand the concept of financing a car and or trade or whatever.
Well, yeah, that's just stupid.
And I'm a moron.
Oh, you didn't know that? Okay, because the first car I ever bought was a 2000 Honda Civic. I ended up paying probably about $50,000 for that car because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Oh no, I did the same thing with a Honda. I walked in there like it's this. I was like, okay, and they're like. I walked out with a $40,000 Civic.
Yeah, I was like,
I just got a Volt for $100,000.
Yeah.
And also, when buying a home, like if my wife wasn't there, then we wouldn't have been able to do it. Like all I had to do was show up with, I think, my license and a birth certificate, and I didn't have my birth. Like I didn't even have one of the two things that I needed to have when we were actually signing for our first home. So.
Yeah, women usually help a little bit.
Well, enough about the world of high finance. We were bemoaning the fact that the creator of the Pop-Tart died.
Yeah.
And you have a direct, we made reference to this, you have a direct connection to the Jerry Seinfeld Netflix movie about this man.
Yes, I'm in the Pop-Tart movie. Jerry just put me in it, which was I actually, he saw some videos and got in touch with me. And he was like, I want to do something with it. And I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of busy. And then he goes,
I'm doing mortgages.
Yeah, I'm at the Chuckle Wagon. So he just goes, hey, there's a table read. And I went to this table read, and then there's 19 different parts I'm supposed to read. They're all highlighted. And it's Zoom calls,
Yeah.
And it's very famous people. And then me, and I've got all these parts, and I'm doing all these impressions, and I don't have, no one said you have a job.
Yeah.
And we did like 7 or 8 of them, and I kept doing them, stressed out, trying to be good. And then he finally gave me, I play Walter Cronkite and Johnny Carson.
That's awesome.
Johnny
That's
Carson,
awesome.
Yeah.
And
so it was so fun.
Are they going to deep fake you on that, or what?
Johnny Carson's deep fake, and Walter Cronkite is actual practical.
No
that
kidding.
took a lot of time, and that was really fun.
2 different roles. That's amazing.
And 2 different roles. That's right. That's right. Well, there's a perceptive man right there. He counted both, and he got to the number 2. That's pretty good.
2 fingers.
2 fingers. Well, the first one's easy. So it's funny because the only picture in my parents' house of a famous person was my mom and dad with Walter Cronkite. I was always like, who's that guy? Like, that's Walter Cronkite, the greatest, television newscaster.
How did you develop? Had you had to have had that in your arsenal, or did you have to avail yourself of video and watch archival footage of Cronkite?
I availed.
Okay,
I had to avail.
Yeah,
I kind of knew what he was about. I'm even forgetting now. How does he talk?
Just Walter Cronkite.
It was
Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite. Kind of choppy and a little bit
Pop-Tart movie.
Greatest honor would be for Kyle Dunnigan to play me in a
Kennedy's honor. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
that was really fun. It's just so quick though. You feel like you're in show business for 30 seconds, and you go back to your apartment, and you're like, oh. And then you go on a radio show, and they're like, Billy D, welcome here.
We're sorry about that.
Steve, can you do me a favor and announce Kyle with the reverb, Kyle Dunnigan?
Ladies and gentlemen, you know him from the upcoming Pop-Tart movie where he plays not 1, but 2 roles, Mr. Kyle Dunnigan.
Oh my God! We're so lucky.
Compared to him, Billy D's a pussy.
I know that was...
Is that better?
Yeah, I know that was fake, but that did feel better. He'll be at the punchline.
At the Chuckle Hut.
Punchline. Guys, get your tickets. They're going, what's the opposite of fast?
Slow.
No, they're going. You better get on the something.
I have a...
get on something. I don't know.
I have a question, Kyle, about Jerry Seinfeld, and I don't know if the answer matters or not. But I was having this conversation with my girlfriend last night. Is Jerry Seinfeld a nice person? And if he's not, does it matter?
I don't know him personally at all, but
he did your show though, right?
He did. Yes, he is nice.
There you go.
Yes,
if he wasn't nice, he wouldn't have done your show.
Yes,
he served something that was beneficial to you. Therefore, he's nice.
Yeah, he did the lowest form of anything he's ever done, which was my YouTube show.
You were Stallone.
Yes, right. Yes, we're in Philly, you know. We had Jerry Seinfeld. I'm Mr. Jerry Seinfeld,
and he was laughing heartily.
Yeah, we get along really well, which is good. And there's a Pop-Tart movie which should launch me. Maybe next year it's like from the Pop-Tart movie he'll be here.
I think you talk yourself down, and I think
I bragged about the Pop-Tart about the Pizza Hut.
Your YouTube stuff is sensational. You have a wide fan base. In fact, we learned just by a circuitous conversation, Belinda Carlisle, a huge fan of yours.
I love Belinda Carlisle.
Yes.
And we're friends, which makes me really happy.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, when I was younger, I just, I thought I'd crush on her, Belinda Carlisle. And she's the sweetest. And her husband, Morgan, is really nice, too. And they're just
She lit up. We were doing a Zoom conversation with her, brought your name up, and she was just ecstatic.
Yeah. I know. I've really been. It really does feel good that people that when I was younger I looked up to, like they say nice things about me is really gets.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I wanted to talk to you about the your YouTube channel. Your impressions obviously are fantastic. The Fresh Prez, the stuff that you've been doing, the Star Trek stuff as well that you've done for a long time. I love that you're doing quasi deep fake stuff. Low tech, and that is the charm of it. And I think so. The impressions are spot on, and you guys know you and Kurt Metzger and I get your whole group that you I don't know if there's much more of a whole group, but it's also the pauses, it's the graphics, it's the janky animation. How long does it take to put together? Because you'll have some run like 15, 20 minutes. How long does it take to put together one of those things?
Yeah, well, first, the janky is like, there's no choice. I'm glad that works. Some of the sketches take so long, it's embarrassing. I did a Biden video where he was just singing about I don't remember what the topic was. What was he talking about? But anyway, it took me about 100 hours to do this 1.5-minute thing because I wrote it and then it was wasn't quite working and then rewrote it and then shot and then it's you gotta understand I'm also the wig wrangler. You know what I mean? I'll be writing and then I gotta go spend 40 minutes trying to find a wig or a spray and then I do costumes and
I mean you're Biden, you're Ben Shapiro, you've got Caitlyn Jenner, you've got
baby. Elon Jenner.
Elon Musk.
Really cool. Everything's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
And the one that just slays me all the time is Bill Maher.
People. You rule. Get more excited when Kyle's on. Okay.
God damn, that's so
we'll be
good.
right back with my guest
so
Tiffany
good.
Haddish and Benjamin Netanyahu. I like his guest, so it's someone the Cash Me Out girl and the Pope.
Bad baby.
Yeah. Lil Wayne and
I love it. It's almost like the old Circus of the Stars. The collection of these celebrities that you have on the segments. But we as the fan base appreciate you taking the time because they're hilarious.
I'm gonna get back into it. I kind of had to slow down because of I was doing some other stuff, but I'm gonna get back into the YouTube thing. It's so much work, but it is the most. You have so much control, and I edit it, and it's. I think I feel out of control if other people are doing the other stuff.
Well, you're handling so much of it that are you a control
I must be about this. I think about this I am because I've had experiences where I've done things and then someone edits it in a way I get like embarrassed. Like why? And I want to like I'm an egomaniac. Question, go ahead.
Yeah, so well, it's about YouTube and the YouTube channel. I watch the show Hot Ones where there's interviews and they eat wings. And the most recent guest is Lil Dicky, who's from Philly, Dave Bird. And he was talking about DIY videos as opposed to his TV show, which is called Dave, and how much easier it sometimes is to do things on YouTube because you don't have to get a pet wrangler. You don't have to get the fire marshal to come in anytime you light anything on fire. And he loves the platform that the TV show gives him on FX, but he enjoys the DIY stuff on YouTube because he has so much more freedom. It takes a lot less time to get anything done. Would you find that to be accurate?
Yeah, I mean, now that you say it, I didn't even think of that, but yeah, I do very illegal things.
Yes.
No one says anything.
And you don't need a lawyer. You don't need clearance. It's just you and it's your channel.
Yeah, it's great. It's really what I was lacking, and I'm going to get better, is like managing people and delegating. I have to figure that out because I really burnt out and I had to like step away and go.
I can't see how you wouldn't. I mean, because also you, besides obviously the voice stuff, which is amazing, your comedy, your stand-up is, so you do one of the sharpest of many routines that I will hold up to people and say, you want to see a perfectly executed routine. And it is your bit about dealing with a robo voice.
Oh, yes.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've shown this to so many people who are breathlessly laughing because your reaction is exactly my reaction. He's talking about the fake, if I may.
That.
Right.
I think you said JFK. Like the thing that I go into a rage immediately. There's no like lead up to it.
Right, yeah.
And
I don't want to burn off material you might be doing.
I won't be doing that bit, so it's okay. But yeah, they just act like they're human.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me. Like, I didn't quite get that. I think you said JFK. I forget the bit, but
it's great. Then you go, die, because I do. I want to talk to a human. I want to talk to a human. I want to talk to a human.
Yeah. Agent. It sounds like you want to talk to an agent. I didn't quite get that.
You're right.
Right? I mean, that's faux.
Spot on.
Yeah.
I'd rather be like, hello, I am Robot 5000. Right. Then you'd be like, okay, now we're being honest with each other.
I'm with you.
Oh, God, it's brilliant.
I think one of the easiest ways
New rule, act like a human. I don't know.
Yeah. to get through to a human is act like you want to pay them money.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, I need to pay my bill. And then they're like, oh, well, hang on a second. Let me go get you somebody. Yeah, right.
The frustrating thing now is like, I JetBlue. Okay, I'm gonna just trash JetBlue. You guys, are they sponsored?
No, they're not.
Find out.
Yeah.
So I go. I'm in Vegas. There's a disaster. Never mind. So I go to the airport, and it says JetBlue on my ticket. And I get to the desk, and she goes, "Yeah, you're not at this airport." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Where am I then?" And she gives me a piece of paper. So all day she's been doing this.
Yeah.
And her face was like, she's like, "I told my management they've got to do something about this." And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be great." So I take an Uber to some other thing, like a hangar for like a different runway. And I get there, it's pouring rain in Vegas. And I'm knocking the door. No one seems to be there. A guard comes out and he goes, "Yeah, you can't be here." And I go, "I got this ticket from JetBlue." And they're like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. And he goes, "The president's flying out of here, and we don't know when he's going to be here." I'm like, "The president's flying out of this hangar that they sent me to?" And he's like, "Yeah, you gotta get out of here, man." So then I go to Mandalay Bay. Now, I'm on my third Uber, and I'm still not at the airport.
Yeah.
So I'm at Mandalay Bay. I have the worst luck of cards you've ever. I'm just sitting playing poker, which you can kind of play for hours.
Right.
And the whole table's going, ooh. Like you get pocket aces you kind of have to play, and then just. Anyway, I'm on the phone. I'm getting to the point of my story, which it's been a long time.
No, it's good. It's all good.
I get on the phone with them, and I'm on the phone with this lady for a half hour, and then she hangs up when she tries to transfer me. Back on for another 40 minutes. Yeah, I'm on this lady. I'm like, I need like a free ticket or something, like somewhere. So you ruined my day. And she goes, "You can email Baba." And I can't speak to a manager. I get to that point, and she goes, "It's best that you email." I go, "You're not at JetBlue, are you? You're not even anywhere near JetBlue."
Right. Yeah.
And she was just dead quiet. I'm like, "This isn't your fault. I'm mad at you, but like, they need to give you a number when there's like an emergency."
Yeah.
They just send you to some other country, and they're like, "That's not our problem."
And no reflection. I've had tech support, and I hate this because I'll get tech support, and someone who's, listen, God bless you, but I have to be honest when I cannot understand what you're saying to me.
Sure. Yeah.
Because if it's your purpose to impart information for me, I was whatever, great. But this conduit has now fallen apart, and so you're left with this thing. Like, how do I?
And they must hate Americans. This group, because we're angels, me and you. We
are
calm ourselves
amazing.
and we know it's not your fault. But most people are like screaming at these people. And they're like, I
and
hate
they hear it all
Americans.
day. And so
I
I
would think.
always try to be as pleasant as possible.
Yeah, I'm a real great guy all the time. Anyway, I got a punchline, you guys. This weekend,
Kyle
check it out.
Is here, by the way, if you're just tuning in.
Billy D.
But later, who's here?
Billy D.
Williams.
Frickin' Williams.
We did not want to make your head get any bigger, but Billy D. requested you be here before him as
That
an
makes
opener.
sense.
So yeah,
it's good.
We do, however, reference you quite a bit off air.
All the time.
With, how's it going, going, guys? We say that.
What's going on, you guys?
Yeah,
What's going on, you guys?
we can't help it.
Come on down to Chuckle Hut. Come on down to Cop Fun Against the Chuck.
Your character from Reno 911 is where where he first surfaced?
Yeah.
What's his name, that character?
Craig.
Okay, because
Craig Pullen.
I'm glad we're talking about Craig because I think he's adorable. I want to
He's a
hang
serial
out.
killer.
I don't care. I'll have to cuff him or something. But I want to hang out with Craig. And I wasn't sure if there were any women or maybe some men out there that are physically attracted to Craig.
I have had women say kind of weird things to me. I had a woman in a bedroom situation.
Really?
Yeah, I just did it real quick. You got to please women. I didn't stay in character very long, but that character, I mean, I did it before Reno 911. He wasn't a serial killer. I've been doing that character since I was like a child.
I was going to say, that looks, the face you're making when you, and the voice looks like something that you've had with you your whole life.
I'll tell you where it came from.
Okay.
Because it's a psychological thing that I had to go to therapy and figure it out. My mother, and she can't hear me. She's in Connecticut. She's not
but she technically could.
Aggressively, yeah, she could probably. Like, didn't listen to me. And I was a very curious kid. And it was like, anything I said, she kind of wanted me to stay. I was the baby. She wanted me to stay. Don't be getting ideas. This is therapy.
Okay.
Where this comes from. So I think I created this really idiot character to deal with that.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on, Mom? Okay, tell my shit now. All right. And I would stay in this character for days. And my parents were like, what's wrong with him? But I think I was coping with I don't get listened to. I'm going to be the stupid as I'm being treated.
Wow.
I love it.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh,
Yeah.
all those years ago?
When Craig teaches us how to drive a car, I love that video.
Oh, talk about illegal. I went up on the sidewalk and I was with this lady who was so funny. Flo, she was in my building. She's 98 years old.
Oh,
and
my God.
I did this little commercial things for Sierra Mist. And I took her down to we went on carnival rides and it was you drink the Sierra Mist and then you have energy. That was whatever. She died a month. I could have killed her on this shoot so easily and there was no.
Oh, no.
Aw.
Yeah, but she died naturally.
Yeah.
A month later.
Wow.
I don't want to say
The
good,
next
but
day.
No, but good.
Yeah, good.
No, if she died on my watch.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be talking right now.
Complications.
Yeah.
Who was the character we were watching yesterday, Nick and Casey, on the...
Oh, yeah. It was a recent Instagram
Caddy?
video. Yeah.
Caddy Daddy.
Yeah, Caddy Daddy.
But it's
Yeah.
so bad. Yeah, as a daughter.
I sent that clip to everyone I knew.
Yeah.
It was great.
What's
Shopping, gossip, and crushing pussy. that's Caddy Daddy. Do we have to believe that?
No, we're good.
I know. I took that out.
Oh, no.
What if you just said
Very
puss?
judgmental,
Yeah.
Caddy Daddy is.
Yeah.
Caddy Daddy?
Yeah.
Okay.
His daughter's
Can we say
friends.
smashing beavers?
Yes.
Okay, I love shopping, gossip. Oh, there it is. And smashing beavers. Sweetheart, it's your friend Stacy's eyeliner is so bad. That's basically it.
Who was the impetus for that? Or just an amalgamation?
It was my dad. No, I don't know, honestly.
Nah.
Yeah, I was in the car with my friend, and I just was being this gossip, and I just kept throwing my glasses off. I was like, so bad. Her hairline. And then we just made the video.
I love it.
So much is the physicality, too, though.
it's all
of what
the
you're
glasses.
doing. Yeah, the glasses. Yeah. The Stallone stuff.
Stallone.
I was just handed a note.
Yeah. he's got to go.
No. Billy D just canceled.
Yes. Guess who showed up? Guess who blew us off?
Wow.
Kyle Dunnigan, the new champion of entertainment.
Kyle called in all his favors to get a hold of Billy D's people. and
You don't
canceled.
understand the power I have. I act like I'm like, I just do YouTube videos. I could destroy this whole station. That's the first step, is getting rid of Billy D. Williams. Anybody else want to say something about
Man,
me?
you took him out. Yeah. You took out Lando Calrissian.
All right.
You want to hear the email, Kyle?
Calrissian.
This is the email that I got from the publicist.
Can you read it in Billy D as much as you can?
Sincere apologies.
Hope this feels racist.
We couldn't make this one work out for ends. I'm not. This is verbatim.
No, I know.
Sorry for the last minute pullout.
Wow.
His manager had just reached out to us this morning about changing the time, so we would definitely given you a heads up if it could have blah 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 blah.
Hello, what have we here?
Hello, what have we here? Hello. Kyle Dunnigan's going to be there. I don't want to be upstage for that hilarious guy.
You know, the cool. No, and that was it, I'm sure. And, what pisses us off.
Yeah.
And listen, maybe we'll hook up with Billy D again, but we do preparation for those interviews.
Of course.
I could have spent that time doing nothing.
Exactly.
I could sit on the couch. Yeah.
I know. No, it's true. But do you think he was like driving here and was like, turn this
Well, it's a Zoom.
around?
It's a Zoom. But
It was on Zoom, yeah.
Some of his entertainment buddies said, dude, you can't go on. Not after this guy.
Yeah, you can't follow Kyle Dunnigan.
Who is this guy? Talking smack about Billy D. I don't know if this is a good part.
No, it was never smack. You were simply saying that the large nature of his reputation.
Well, I was
Yeah,
complimenting
you were actually saying the enormity of who he is was what was the issue. You never, were.
Billy D. What's his catchphrase?
Works every time.
By the way,
Colt 45 works every time.
Colt
if you
45.
assess that works every time, is that not?
I think Bill Cosby was in line.
Right,
for this,
right.
Colt 45.
Benadryl.
Every
It wasn't
Works
mine.
every time.
Works every time. If you give him enough, it works every time. That's what you should have put there.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
Yes, it was.
I mean, that's what's being suggested, right? You're
You
as an
know
entre-
what? Yeah.
As an
never thought of
entree
that.
to sex.
Of course, a girl behind him, and he's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to drug her with this
Benadryl.
giant beer.
Were you ever a malt liquor
Drugger
drinker?
of women?
No, drugger of women. Yeah. No, did were you a Colt 45 guy? Or?
I think I tried one once. I thought I'm not manly enough to handle this. And then I just went for my Zima. And
There you go.
You don't impress me.
Hey,
Toss the Jolly Rancher in that thing.
I have a question. Did I read this correctly? Are you an Emmy winner?
I
Yeah.
did win an
Did you
Emmy.
win an
Yeah, I
Emmy?
wrote a song. It's funny, it's for a song, but yeah, I
That's
actually
hilarious.
write music. I got a band now, and we're playing in New York, Joe's Pub, April 30th.
You're quite an accomplished piano player.
I love music. I kind of feel like a poser still, and I have this band, and I'm gonna be performing like mostly music, but I still feel like I'm not a musician.
Huh.
But I am not like a trained or ever thought. And my voice is not great, so I feel like I'm a poser.
So you think more, I can play, but I'm not you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I'll
I
go
can
out
play,
there.
but I'm not a musician.
Yeah,
so to
like
speak.
that was never my identity.
Right.
So I'll go out on, at Joe's Pub, which is a really awesome place.
Are you doing?
And I'll feel like I'm faking this whole thing. A little bit.
Really?
Well, the Emmy was for this the boy band
Yeah.
parody. Girl, you don't need makeup.
yeah.
Which was hilarious. But do you take a dip into serious ballads and stuff and regular?
Yeah, I actually, that's like from a young age. I always kind of wrote cheesy ballads, and I turned them into like comedy songs.
But I mean,
But they start off like, "Why won't you call me back?" And that changed them because no one wanted to hear that.
have you ever run a few past people just to see if they were legit?
I won an Emmy for one.
No, I'm saying for non-comedy. In other words,
Oh no, I've never. Oh,
with
look at that guy! Look at that guy on top of the world.
Who are you with there in that
Epic.
photo with the Emmy?
That's Jim Roach. He produced it. He was a sound engineer. Very good.
Do you still where do you
Excellent.
display your Emmy?
It's at my mom's house. I don't see it really. My mom, I brought my mom there. This is I've talked about my mom a lot, which women find hot. But anyway, after this will give you insight because she's very negative, about everything. But it's to protect. Like I want to make sure I know everything that could go wrong. Anyway, so you get the Emmy, you go on stage, and you go back, and then you come around and you see who your family again, or whoever you brought. And the first thing she said to me, I got the Emmy, and she goes, "Can they take that away from you?" What does that mean? What does that mean? That's what I said. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, listen, they took Reggie Bush's Heisman trophy away from him because
that's maybe what she was thinking about Reggie Bush.
Oh, I see.
Probably.
It's the same thing.
Oh, why did it dawn on me then?
Yeah.
What happened to Reggie Bush wasn't right. I know, Mom, but I think I'm okay. Yeah, she's got that. And then she's got
She's being
Peabody Award. They give her the awards.
What's the Peabody for?
Just being like
awesome,
greatest writer ever. Something like that. I don't know. It was
the Peabody is
it was
kind
like
of
Inside Amy Schumer. We all got one.
Oh, okay.
What does that award look like?
It's like a big coin.
Yeah.
Okay.
On top of a platform.
So amongst the writers and performers, the Peabody is in a class by itself. So I think
Peabodys are harder to get.
Yeah.
They name 1 year, but I should have them. So if I bring a girl back, say I live in a tiny shoebox in New York, but if I had a Peabody and an Emmy there, they might be like, oh, he's just a saver. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he talks about his mom.
Yeah. All the time.
And so there's a point at which you cross between Norman Bates and just a creative writer.
Yeah. That's on my dating profile. I'm a cross between. Anyway, punchline.
Where are you dating wise right now?
It's really bad.
Is it really bad?
It's really bad.
Is it because of
Even
your
the
schedule?
dating. No, there's no excuses. It's really bad. I don't go up to strangers, so there's that. Then I work completely alone. I'm not in an office, so there's that.
Right.
Then like after shows, I don't hit on. It's like if people liked your show. By the way, 99% are like 40-year-old men that come to my shows alone. So it's like hard to sell tickets. No one's bringing anybody.
Yeah.
But I'll see a girl. Like I did a tour. I think I saw 5,000 people the whole tour, and I saw like maybe 3 girls. And they were always like with a boyfriend, like, my boyfriend likes you. So I'm like, I was dragged here. So that's not like a place really. And then,
I find it because I've heard the word, the other comedians and watching interviews, you've got game is the word.
No, I don't have game. No, I do not. No. Well, dating apps have been really bad too.
Bad?
Yeah. Well, I'm on the wrong ones. This one called Raya, and I think
that's for celebrities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more curated.
Yeah. Nah.
It's not good?
No, I find this one girl we dated like a month ago. We had 3 dates, and then I was like, oh, she just wants free dinners. That kind of thing.
Matthew Perry was on it. Ben Affleck apparently was on it briefly.
I have a friend that's on it.
I
mean, I don't know she's like a serial dater, so.
Perfect.
I saw this interesting thing I had never heard of the other day. It's called the dating app paradox.
Okay.
You guys ever heard of this concept?
Not familiar, no.
So it states that even though meeting a partner on a dating app has become common, apps suffer from a paradox. When they do well, they lose customers.
Yes.
So if you find someone else, they've lost you as a customer.
One of those apps uses that in their ad campaign. I can't remember which one it was, but like the intent of the app is for you to eventually delete the app, which is a fairly innovative way to advertise something. You want to use this so much that you don't have to use it anymore.
But the model is self-destructive by its nature.
That's right. And
interesting.
Steve, quite literally in the ad campaign, the app blows up.
Wow.
It's like a little monster or whatever. I forget which one it is, but like, hey, we want you to use this app and then not have to use it anymore.
There's always a thing too, like where you're always disappointed, like because everyone puts like their best pictures up.
Yeah,
you should be forced to put your worst pictures.
Agreed.
Because you go on this date and there's already pressure because you're just like, I find you attractive. I clicked you. And then everyone's disappointed. Everyone's like not as good as their pictures.
Well, I wanted to ask you, like the picture that comes up often is this picture that's at the top of your sheet here.
That
kind of
is
a lovable
from 1986.
Right, but you look like Indiana Jones. You got a bit of growth, and you're a nice looking guy. But is that your favorite pick?
I honestly, I went and I got more pictures taken, and I didn't like them. I didn't like. But they were accurate. They were in my head. But I need to put them up.
Yeah, you need to prove you have
look like that.
You have a head. Yeah,
your head.
Yeah.
Hinge is the app that you're supposed to delete. Do you ever use Hinge?
I've used that, yeah.
How long were you on the celebrity site? How long were you?
I've been on it.
You're still on it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really. I mean, I go on very few dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want us to get you a date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got you.
I mean, you owe me after the Billy D. Williams.
Yeah,
Hey,
you're probably right.
who's interested in dating Kyle Dunnigan? 215-263-WMMR. Give
You
us a
gotta
call
be all right
right
with
now.
New York, though. You gotta. I'm gonna be.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
hop,
that's
skip,
true.
and a jump.
It's not far.
There are people who work in Manhattan who live here.
You can also cheat on me pretty easy. That's a pretty. Cool
that's a
thing.
plus. There you go.
Bonus, you don't have to go through Connecticut to get to Philadelphia.
A lot of stories about my mother. You'll hear.
Yeah.
Another plus.
There's a lot of benefits in that package.
What a terrific guy. So terrific.
I love it.
having a resonant voice like yours, is it pretty easy to pinpoint impressions to do?
Yeah, there's some that are like out of my range. I actually have a big range. This is another thing that's going to be really hot. But I was at a doctor's office. They took an X-ray of my neck, and they put it on the wall, and the doctor was looking at it. He's rubbing his chin, but you don't want to see someone looking at a doctor looking at your bones, going like, huh? So he goes, "Hey, Bob," or whatever. He calls another guy, and the two of them are looking at my bones.
Yeah,
and I'm going, "Oh, I'm dead. There's something to me." And I go, "What is it? What is it?" And he goes, "You have the neck of a 7-foot man." Yeah, I have a very long neck, and I got to bring my larynx down and manipulate. Manipulate. Anyway,
okay,
ladies, if you're
looking for
you like a long neck.
I noticed. Listen,
I always say that.
I think that
did
makes
notice
sense.
you're covering your neck. You have a scarf.
It's your
moneymaker.
Is that for not just to keep you warm, but to protect your moneymaker here?
No, it's just I forgot to take this off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm shocked that's still on.
You do have an astonishing range. I mean, to be able to nail as perfectly as you do Ben Shapiro and then come down for other low range impressions. I mean, there's a point at which it's otherworldly when you sound like someone. I mean, some of the people that you do the best, and it's funny because it'll just elicit laughter. But again, and here's a big stroke session for you right now, the material's there as well. What's harder to do? Get the impression in line or get the material suitable for that character?
I would say mostly material.
The material?
The most work.
Yeah.
You know, because people who do podcasts and are successful, it just seems so much easier. Because the way the algorithm's set up and everything is, you got to keep cranking stuff out.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to write if you write a good sketch every week, like it's impossible. You're in the Hall of Fame. I mean, SNL, it's like there's 30 writers. Everyone's writing around the clock, and there's 2 funny sketches a week. It's not because they're bad. It's just that's the nature of writing. So writing is really hard.
Yeah.
Writing.
All right, well, listen, we got to wrap, my friend. I know.
Billy D is really on. We just made that up to me.
Yeah, wait, we have an extra hour. Billy D's not here. Keep it rocking.
Kyle is going to be at Punchline tonight, 7:30 and 9:45, Saturday, 7 and 9:15, and then there is that Sunday show, 7 o'clock, so get those tickets. And I think, Monday's a holiday for a lot of people. It's President's Day, so it's perfect. Punchlinephilly.com for the tickets.
One of the funniest men you will ever see.
Thank you.
Get out and see the show.
Most definitely.
I'm going to almost remember you guys. But I can't do my way back. I think I will remember you. If it's soon, I will remember you guys.
Just come back and be almost certain you met us. That would be great.
Come back soon.
Kyle Dunnigan, gang. Punchline. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Okay, all right.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. So earlier this week, Thursday, all day, I thought it was Friday. Today, I thought now was 9 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. So I think I've corrected.
But you've actually gone in the right direction.
Now it's the right direction.
Yeah.
Now it's a bonus. The day is actually moving along quicker, and that feels good. So therefore, I forgot to do these things earlier this morning, and I wanted to do them. A couple of shout outs.
Yes.
Because their dates are coming up. And we've got to, it's a holiday on Monday. We're taking a couple of days off next week, so we won't be here on the 18th, which these people have requested their shout outs for. Actually, this person made it on the 8th, not the 18th. Oops.
So close.
So I'm a little late with this, but this person says it's my birthday on Thursday, February 8th. Can I have a shout out? And also they said I listen every day and I'm in the car between 8 and 8:30. So
Preston,
I'm making good.
We did it.
We did it. So this is for Sandy Shamilia.
Shlomazala.
Yeah. So Sandy Shamilia.
Sandy!
Happy birthday to you. And if you know Sandy Shamilia with a name like that, somebody does.
Please let her know.
Let her know. We wish her a happy birthday. And then this one it says, hey, I'd like to get a shout out from my absolutely perfect daughter, beautiful daughter, Caroline. She's been listening to you guys since before birth. We listened faithfully while we were living in South Philly, in Northern California, back across the country to New Jersey, and now in D.C.
Wow.
And we've even been to a couple of campouts. The life lessons you've provided over the years for Caroline and her sister have been invaluable. And her 16th birthday is February 18th, so we're not going to be on the air on February 18th, so I'm doing this now. Her last name is Shaw, so it's Caroline Shaw. This is from Karen Shaw. She said she specifically requested that I ask for this shout out. Thank you so much. All our love, Karen Shaw and the birthday girl, Caroline. So here you go. Shout out for you and happy birthday. And then I'm going to address this one head on. I got this letter, and it says, Dear Preston and Steve crew, my fiance and his family are huge fans. They listen every day, and we think you guys are hilarious. Ryan would absolutely lose his mind if any of you could come to the wedding. So they send us a wedding invitation.
That's so awesome.
It's going to be on the 13th of September, 2024. It is for Heather Nicole Filer and Ryan Daniel Stutzman. And she says, he told me about this thing called shard outs. Could you shard him out that day, please?
Wow.
No. That's
a big advance.
Way. I'm hanging on to this till September 13th because it just won't happen. I apologize now. She said he would get such a kick out of that. Thank you very much. And that is from Heather. So Heather, no, but thank you very much. So we're doing the shard out now.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to acknowledge it, but I would lose it. I would mess it up. So I don't want to take that responsibility.
Can I do a quick mention of something?
Man.
Next Saturday, not this Saturday, but 1 week from this Saturday, I will be hosting the Philadoptibles Love Potions Happy Hour at Broken Goblet Brewing. It is a big pet-loving event. Philadoptibles does great work. They're going to have drink specials, raffles, door prizes. I'm your MC. There's going to be music.
You had it at the Broken Goblet one time before, didn't you?
It's a great... Have you been?
My band played there one time.
Oh, yes, that's right. In fact, people were mentioning it's a great place, and it's huge.
Yeah.
So that'll be not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. I'll be hitting it. Obviously, said we're off, a little bit next week, but please buy your tickets, support this great charity. They're doing lots of great work, and we love them at Philadoptibles, and I'd love to see you out at that event. That's next Saturday. We'll put the information up on PrestonandSteve.com, and it'll be on my social.
And then Casey, no?
No, well, no. I'll do it a little bit later.
All right, all good. Bizarre File, we can do that now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, a few stories to pass along before we sail into the weekend. We'll start with this. It's a good thing that these car thieves were not experts on the value of orthopedic implants, or else they may have traded in the 2019 Hyundai Genesis they stole for a new Lamborghini, a car with $600,000 worth of medical devices stashed inside was swiped from the Jersey City Medical Center parking lot sometime Tuesday evening after the owner left his keys in the vehicle. But the thieves apparently were not interested in the pricey medical devices. Instead, the non-medical miscreants dumped the life-altering implants in a large commercial trash bin on the property of the Hudson Gardens public housing complex. The devices, which were not described in police reports, were found by a maintenance worker. The owner of the stolen car responded to the scene to rescue the medical supplies. It could not be determined if the orthopedic implants were damaged or if they were in working condition. But the three most common types of orthopedic implants are screws, plates, and prostheses.
Wow.
The victim told police that he parked the vehicle in the Jersey City Medical Center lot on Tuesday. It was gone when he returned, when he came back hours later. The car was found abandoned after the victim was able to track it. And then the trash bin where the medical services were located was approximately a half mile away, but it was $600,000 worth of medical equipment.
Just to be clear, this guy parked a car with $600,000 worth of merchandise in it, left for a few hours with the keys in the car?
Yeah, he messed up.
Yeah.
He messed up. A former checkout counter clerk pleaded guilty this past Friday to her role in a scheme that attempted to cash a winning lottery ticket that a customer had left behind. Carly Nunes pleaded guilty to the presentation of a false claim. She was sentenced to 2 years of probation with drug screening and drug counseling. According to the district attorney's office, a customer purchased a winning lottery ticket and a few other items in the store known as Savaz Liquors. The tickets were left behind. And while the customer later realized that he no longer had them, he concluded that they were just lost.
Right.
Well, about 45 minutes later, another customer purchased lottery tickets. According to the DA's office, Nunes had printed the tickets, and the patron returned extras that were printed for the previous customer that evening. The winning lottery numbers were drawn that night. Nunes and a co-worker, Joseph Redham, who also faces charges, drove to lottery headquarters to cash the ticket. Although the ticket appeared to be torn and burned, Nunes submitted the claim. And the lottery employee determined the ticket was worth $3 million.
Wow. Yeah. Torn and burned.
Nunes and Redham had celebrated, but were also seen on surveillance video arguing in the lobby. And that's when Redham allegedly made extortion demands, and Nunes told him that she would only pay $200,000. So, like, the instant this happens, they're starting to squabble over the money.
Of course.
And all that. And between the argument and the condition of the winning ticket, lottery investigators decided to interview Nunes and then open an investigation into the case. The prize money was withheld pending the results. And apparently surveillance video confirmed that the male victim, not Nunes, had purchased the winning ticket. The real owner of the winning ticket was located by investigators. He received his check on June 30th of that
So
year.
you're the recipient of that. You don't know this whole drama that's gone on in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing.
I told you guys about the time I found a scratch-off ticket at a Wawa, and it was late at night. Nothing had been scratched off the ticket. So I'm like, I picked it up, and I scratched it off. It was a $100 winner. $100.
You collected it?
Yeah.
of
There
course.
was nobody else there.
Yeah.
And
didn't you get pranked one time?
Somebody tried to do that outside of a Wawa where it
with
was
a
like
fake winning ticket.
Fake winning ticket. I scratched it off, and then I just see these guys laughing in the front seat of their car. They got me for about a half of a second. I was like, this because it didn't look like a real lottery.
All right.
I mean,
but the $100 was legit.
it was legit.
Dude, I've seen those novelty scratch offs that make the person think they're a winner. That is a cruel
It's
ass
actually
joke.
mean.
Yeah.
And it could lead to something bad happening. Like they could go and quit their job or call somebody up and tell them off or
kill you.
Or kill you. No, it's not.
It's not your baby.
The Cape Coral Police Department is asking for your help with finding two suspects who robbed a Lowe's store. The police department released photos of a man and woman in matching Cookie Monster pajamas who tried to leave the store with items without paying for them.
That was their armed robbery outfit of choice?
They weren't armed, but yeah. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah. The man had a gun in his waistband and threatened the loss prevention officer when they tried to stop him. So, Steve, I apologize. They were wearing Cookie Monster pajamas and they were packing heat. An active search is underway for the suspects. They have not found them
Any identifying features?
as of yet. A man in Beijing is banned from seeing pandas ever again after throwing objects into an enclosure. An
air fryer.
The Chengdu Research Base of Giant Panda Breeding says visitor Gao, is his name, is prohibited from entering the panda base for life. The research base adds that feeding pandas can cause harm to the animals.
I just saw pandas.
This isn't the first time the base has banned someone for life. Last August, a woman was barred for feeding a panda peanuts.
What's with the feeding of the pandas?
Yeah, you got to stop that. The National Treasure has strict dietary standards, they wrote.
Bamboo.
Yep. While walking, last story?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll go with this one. While walking in Sampson State Park, New York, Tyler Davis stumbled upon what seemed to be a washed-up buoy. Upon closer inspection, he discovered it was a military device with a propeller and blinking lights resembling a torpedo.
Oh my God.
Right?
Was it a torpedo, in fact?
Davis found markings, lettering, and a phone number on it.
If this torpedo is lost, please call.
Essentially, that's what it was, leading him to believe that it was a misplaced weapon. After contacting the provided number, Davis learned it was an MK-39 training device from the Seneca Lake Sonar Test Facility, not a torpedo, but it looked like one. The Navy thanked him for helping locate their lost device used in submarine detection training. Despite missing out on a unique souvenir, Davis is content with the intriguing story that he gained from the experience.
assume they put if lost tags on nuclear warheads, right?
Usually. Dude, there's one that's sitting in the ocean off the coast of the Carolinas. You ever see that story?
Yeah.
No.
There's a nuclear weapon that was lost, and it is in the water somewhere off the coast of the Carolinas. And
what the hell?
Yeah, we got a bunch more of them.
Hell.
And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a second. We'll get to the lesson, question, trash, and music news when we return. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Series.
Preston and Steve, 1024. As we're approaching towards the end of the program. Very cool prize giveaway for Word of the Week. Hopefully you've been paying attention and getting ready to win that. We have something else to give away, though, in the meantime, via today's lesson question. And we're giving away a $50 What a Crock Meals to Go gift card. The question that we ask you today, friend, is... Kathy's lipstick appears in which inspirational Steven Spielberg movie? 215-263 WMMR. Do you know? Do you remember? Did you hear it? Kathy's lipstick appears in which inspirational Steven Spielberg movie? 215-263 WMMR. Call us if you know the answer. And while you're calling, we'll do the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, what's happening this morning, Steve?
Well, Pennywise actor Bill Skarsgård was arrested in Arlanda Airport in Stockholm, Sweden for possession of marijuana. Skarsgård was not charged with the crime after paying a small fine and promising to see an ABBA concert.
Oh, my God.
Sharon Stone, this is very strange, says that during the O.J. Simpson Bronco chase back in 1994, she was placed under police protection and sequestered in a hotel room. Stone says officials would later admit they were simply trying to stop her from making a sequel to the movie Sliver.
Oh, my God.
And finally, Kevin Costner and Christine Baumgartner have settled their super bitter divorce, and they finalized the judgment. Costner says he's not in a mad rush to get back into a relationship. He wants to take some time to clear his mind and get hand jobs.
We are going to see if you happen to know the answer to this. Kathy's lipstick appears in which inspirational Steven Spielberg movie? 215-263 WMMR's number. We'll go. Let's see if Haley knows it. Hi, Haley. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, Haley. All right, what movie did Kathy's lipstick appear in?
Was it Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Was not. No, sorry. We'll go next to Jane. Hi there, Jane.
Hello there. How are you?
Awesome. All right, do you know what movie Kathy's lipstick appeared in?
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. Well done. Hold on, Jane. We are going to give you a $50 What a Crock Meals to Go gift card. What a Crock's delicious ready-made meals make dinner easy for anyone. You just drop a meal into your slow cooker in the morning, and it comes home to dinner waiting for you. Come home to dinner waiting for you. All right, let's do music news.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
I jig on it.
All right, just a few items of note for music news. We'll begin with the fact that a feature-length documentary film titled Hate to Love, Nickelback, will be in theaters worldwide for 2 nights only, March 27 and March 30th. Premiering last September at the Toronto International Film Festival is the story of their early beginnings in Hanna, Alberta, to their explosive global success in 2001. The documentary also covers Nickelback's decision to return after a 5-year break. Tickets go on sale February 22nd at nickelbackfilm.com.
We're cool with Nickelback.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
These guys are a lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't hate them. And some of their songs I like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so I mentioned this earlier this morning in the Entertainment Report, but I will reiterate. Paul McCartney has been reunited with his original Hofner bass guitar that he bought in the early 1960s. It was stolen in the 1970s.
Don't give me that!
A brief statement on Paul's website said, following the launch of last year's Lost Bass project, Paul's 1961 Hofner 501 bass guitar, which was stolen in 1972, has been returned.
This is a mind-boggling story.
It's one of the most recognizable instruments in rock history. Right. The guitar has been authenticated by Hofner and Paul, and he is incredibly grateful for all those involved. So He bought it in Hamburg, Germany in 1961. Used it as performed in Hamburg in the Cavern Club and some of their first albums. It went missing years later, and just last year, 3 lifelong Beatles fans set out a goal to get it back. So it was Nick Waz, who was a former marketing manager and electric guitar developer for Hofner, and a husband and wife team, Scott and Naomi Jones, who are both journalists, created the Lost Bass Project, and they started looking for leads. And they discovered that the bass had been stolen off a truck in London's Notting Hill neighborhood in 1972. They just found this out in October. It was previously believed that it had been stolen from the Apple Corps headquarters, but no, that came out to be not true. So the Lost Bass Project said it was able to figure out exactly who stole it and learned that it was sold to an owner of a pub in the area. And while the project has not revealed any specifics, having promised anyone who comes forward confidentiality, they said they were able to track the bass's movements over the years. And as a result of the publicity, that someone living in a terraced house on the south coast of England remembered an old bass guitar that was in their attic.
Okay, complete the story because I have an observation.
All right, they got it out and realized what they had, and within days it was back with Paul. While the 1961 Hofner had been missing for decades, Paul continued to use the bass that he got in 1963 throughout the rest of the Beatles' career. He stopped using that model in the 1970s, but returned to it in 1987.
So would you say, and this is just a notion, old instruments, people will throw out things from the house, and they'll throw, and get rid of a whole bunch of stuff. But I think people might be inclined to hold on to even a dinged up guitar.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Listen,
Is that reasonable?
I have a piano in my house that is over 100 years old. It was a gift that was given to us by our old neighbor. The piano holds no value.
Yeah.
It is out of tune, and I was advised by other piano movers and piano stores that it's not even worth tuning it.
Right.
They're you're better off just getting a new one.
Yeah.
But there's just too much nostalgic value to it.
Sure.
Well, and that's the thing. Whether you play them or not, the instruments look cool.
Yeah.
They look interesting, and you can use them as decor if you want.
The thing about a piano especially is it can be a really nice piece of furniture.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful hardwood usually. And Casey, do you remember what the name brand is on the piano?
It's like Mason Hamlish or something like that, or it's just an upright piano. It was so my old neighbor used to be a music professor at Temple, so it was used on campus at Temple, and
it's got a bit of history to it.
And not only that, but right before he gave it to us, he wrote a song on it, and he has it on sheet music. And
is it sheet music on the piano?
Yeah.
Wow,
that's cool. All right, 2 more quick things. Slipknot and Stone Sour vocalist Corey Taylor has recorded songs best known by artists like Led Zeppelin, Alice Cooper, Ozzy Osbourne, Judas Priest, and Echo and the Bunnymen, as well as others.
What about Josh Groban?
The B-sides are from recording sessions of his album CMF2.
You raise me up. God.
He's calling the collection of covers CMF2B or Not to Be, and it will be out on April 20th in time for this year's Record Store Day, which is going to begin on April 20th. One last story. Our buddy, Kyle Mack, his band, the FM Band, has an event going on. It's called Dinner and Dancing with the FM Band, a Galentine's Day event. Tomorrow night at Scotland Run Golf Club in Williamstown, New Jersey. The show's at 6:30, starts at 6:30. Tickets must be bought in advance, and you can get those at scotlandrun.com. There's a buffet dinner included, too.
Kyle has a new appreciation for Galentine's because of our event on Tuesday night.
He filmed a really nice recap video, by the way, which you can see on our YouTube channel if you want to take a peek at how Galentine's Day went. But if you want to hang out with Kyle himself and the rest of the gang in the FM Band, their gig is tomorrow night at Scotland Run Golf Club, 6:30. You got to buy tickets in advance at scotlandrun.com, and there's a buffet dinner that's included with that ticket.
This is something different completely.
All right, that's it in music news, in case he had his hand up.
So we, and I shared with you guys via text message earlier this week, Todd Glass is performing next week at Bourbon and Branch.
Yes, we wanted to ask about that.
Yeah, and so he needs help. And so we'll post a video at some point.
May I ask a question before you reveal what this is? Because I watched that video, and he doesn't say exactly what he needs.
No, he doesn't.
I don't know what he needs.
Well, it's okay.
He needs something from a wedding shop.
So it's just a wedding venue that would be willing to help. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, so he's like, but again, he doesn't say what it is in it. Like, does he need chairs? Does he need tables, tablecloth?
Right.
He doesn't say what that. I know.
Yeah, it's something secretive that he wants to make some big deal over. And don't worry, if you work with Todd, he'll name you everywhere.
Yeah.
He possibly can.
Yeah. God, he had mentioned us on Jimmy Kimmel one night.
He'll do it. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
So and we'll share the video at some point because in that video he does share like an email address or something, some way to get in touch with him.
All right. It was confusing.
But he also added a couple of shows, and I'm telling you, like he is like a perfectionist when it comes to this stuff. Right?
He puts on a show.
Show.
He actually will decorate the stage. He makes sure everything is just so. And he's absolutely one of the funniest live performers you'll ever see.
And you know what else he does is when he goes to a comedy club, he'll go into the green room, and if it's not to his liking, he'll just go to Target and he'll go buy decorations like lamps and all sorts of stuff, just kind of like set the mood.
Yep, he's good like that. He adds music to the show and all kinds of cool stuff. Okay, so Bourbon and Bank,
Permanent Branch.
I'm sorry, Permanent Branch. It is February 21st through the 25th, and go see our buddy Todd Glass. I'm sure we'll have him here.
Yes.
when
he'll
he's
be
in
here.
town. So, all right, we're gonna break. We'll come back. We'll wrap this bitch up, and we'll give away our Word of the Week prize too. So stay with us. We'll be right back. End our program for the day. Man in the Box. 10:45 and the Preston and Steve Show. We're going to get the Duke in the box here in a minute.
Yeah, that's right. Duke in the box.
As the work week comes to an end for us personally today. It's been a fun week this week.
It has been.
It's been a fun morning, too, man. Kyle Dunnigan was great.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to have him on the show today. And
He's the best.
He's hilarious. You can find him at Punchline tonight, tomorrow, Sunday as well. So you can go to punchlinephilly.com to get tickets and information.
Ladies.
And ladies, please.
Yes.
He wants women at his show. He needs to meet someone. And also, we made an announcement earlier this morning the 10 Days of Pearl Jam started today.
Very exciting.
I meant to mention that in music news, and I totally forgot about it. But the 10 Days of Pearl Jam, this is day number 1. And if you go to WMMR.com, you can find out what the song of the day is and when it will play, what hour it will play. And when you hear it, you'll be the 25th call. You get tickets to their show September 9th at the Wells Fargo Center. And, of course, they're playing 2 shows, the 7th and the 9th, but we have those tickets for the 9th. And make sure that you enter to win tickets online, too, while you're there. And also the verified fan ticket on sale information is indeed available. So you can go to WMMR.com and find out what song it is and when it's going to play, too. Pierre Robert surveying the studio.
I am, and my survey is complete.
Survey says...
Fire.
It's fire. All right. Actually, you were going over to take a peek at the Word of the Week.
I was.
Make sure we have the proper letter.
I spent a long time on this one.
All right. All right. Let's do this now.
Okay. Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
O as in orbit.
All right. And we'll take caller number 6 at 215-263-WMMR. And let's see how closely you've been paying attention for the letters and the Word of the Week. So come and get it if you happen to know. How you feeling today, man?
I'm just cruising in peak form.
Cruising in peak form.
Yes.
How's your nasal condition?
Yeah, it's there.
Still there, all right.
Yeah, it's a little annoying, but and a little nasally. But once I sing the opera a little bit later on, I think that should clear it out.
You're going to do a full opera today?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. La 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 la. We'll start with that.
Can't wait. What's up on your show, though?
We're going to have fun. We've got Neil Young and Crazy Horse coming to town. And as of 10 a.m. this morning, 3 big shows went on sale. Neil Young, that's coming the earliest, May 12th at the FM Center in Camden. The next one, June 21st, Santana and Counting Crows. That's June 21st in Camden. And Dave Matthews Band, July 19th and 20th at the FM Center. So 3 big shows, Neil, Santana, Counting Crows, and DMB. They all went on sale at 10 a.m. We will play all of them and have tickets for Neil to give away in the program today.
Wonderful. All right, we are going to attempt to get a winner. We're going over here to caller number 6, and it's Mark, who has made it through. Hi there, Mark.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what? All right, Mark, we need the word. What is it, buddy?
McGee.
Great day in the morning.
That is correct. You got it, Mark. And we are going to give you, dude, listen to this, Mark. You get a pair of 2024 Lawny passes for the summer concert season at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. You get to see everybody there this summer, my man. Yeah, right? And I mean, that's everybody from Dave Matthews Band to Chris Stapleton, Third Eye Blind.
So three I just mentioned.
Yeah. Foreigner and Styx, Earth, Wind and Fire were Chicago, Jason Aldean, the Doobie Brothers and Steve Winwood, 30 Seconds of Mars, Hootie and the Blowfish, Avril Lavigne, Rob Zombie. Dude, it's a huge collection of artists, and you're going to all of them, Mark. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent, bud. All right, hang on the line. We'll get the information. We'll take care of you. By the way,
I was trying to go with music. I was trying to go U, and I misplaced the day, and I went G, and then I thought, well, maybe it would be magic, but then I realized it was Tuesday, not Wednesday.
So the G.
So I had an MG, and I had to make something out of it. So
how did the G end up in music?
Well, I couldn't read the second letter when I was trying to find it, and I thought it was Wednesday, but it was only Tuesday. So I'm peeking through the window, and I see M, and I see...
You thought you saw an A.
I thought I saw an A. I thought I saw a Putty Cat, and the A wasn't really there. And so I went with G. I said, yesterday must have been A, so I'll make it magic, MAGIC. And then I went with the G only to realize my terrible, terrible mistake. And then we're scrambling to come up with a word that has, with MG that makes any sense whatsoever. I was going to try to go MGICK and go back to music, but because I wanted it to be music for all the prizes you're giving away.
No, Magoo, I think you hear Magoo, you think music.
You certainly do. Yeah. Oh, Magoo, you've done it again.
By the way, the lawn passes are on sale now at lawnpass.livenation.com.
Nice.
And there's another chance for you to win a pair at WMMR.com if you're a VIP member.
Cool.
So you definitely want to sign up for that.
Did you guys get the Pearl Jam song of the day yet?
No, I just mentioned that while you were in here in the studio.
I know.
No, we didn't play it.
Okay.
No.
Because the 10 days do start today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if you had the song.
Those who checked online, though, they know. They have a cheat sheet.
Cheat sheet right there.
Yeah.
I better do that.
All right, let me thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve program brought to you today by Duncan, and the Preston and Steve show runs on Duncan. Also brought to you by Trinity Rehab locations all over, and that's trinity-rehab.com. Next week's a short week for us. We'll be in on Wednesday, starting on Wednesday. Todd Glass will be in the studio. Josh Blue will be in the studio. And comedian Adrienne Iapolucci. Iapolucci will be in the studio, too. So we got a lot of comedian friends that are going to be stopping by. So that's it. We're done. Ray John, have yourself a great weekend, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.